How you doing, everybody? It's Chuck Freeby alongside Angelo Carlo, and we are two guys whose wives wanted them out of the house. So we decided to start Sports Michiana. It's our way of giving back to you what the coverage that you are used to seeing on TV. For 34 years, the game of the week was a staple of Friday nights and Saturday morning in Michiana. And when that went away in July, well, our jobs went away too. And we heard you. We heard the hue and cry from you. We want high school sports. We want the game of the week. And so we put our heads together and got a whole lot of help. And because of that, we can come to you on this Friday night and bring you a high school football game. And I, for one, am excited.
It's been so humbling to see the outreach from so many people, and it begins with the fans, the followers. When we launched on Facebook, we got 2,500 followers in the first 24 hours. 1 week before the season, over 4,000 followers on Facebook. That's already exceeded my personal page. So it's been awesome to see how much people have cared to find us. And we've provided a lot of high school previews to give people the coverage that they expect to see, because it's not just about the games, but it's about covering the kids in so many different ways. But we're also lucky that we've been able to partner with so many people, whether it's been Gary Martin and Michiana Video. That was one of the first things we had to figure out was, how are we doing this? Because we need production. And Gary stepped up, and we have him as our production trailer for all our broadcasts. And then we also have a lot of our old crew with us as well here for the game of the week, whether it's replay or camera guys. These are guys that know you and I very well, and know what we like in the broadcast, and able to bring that as well. And there's been so much to be said about Chuck and Ange. Hey, the high school game of the week in Michiana for football, you got to have Bo Hunt, and Bo will be a part of it. I know he's been doing it for almost 2 decades now. So it's great that it'll be you and Bo on in the booth, and I'll be on the sideline, and we're gonna try to make it look as close to what people are used to seeing as possible. And I'm just so excited for this opportunity. It's been very nerve wracking, but it's very exciting, and we've been able to sprinkle in a lot of news, a lot of announcements, because quite frankly, they're coming in every day, because, well, we've only been a company for so long. But one of the big ones obviously was being able to partner with WSBT. And while we are not able to be on TV out of the gate, to be on the Facebook page and YouTube channels of WSBT is unbelievable. They have 355,000 plus followers on Facebook and over 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you to Brian Dodge and everyone at WSBT for making that happen, because that's not about us. That's about allowing the student athletes to continue get the coverage they deserve.
Well, it's never been about us. It's always been about the student athletes and the coaches. And it has been heartwarming to go to practices and have them come up and say how happy they are that this tradition in Michiana is going to continue. And it's also not happening without the great sponsors that we have. So many sponsors have stepped up. And I know you've related conversations where we're in an office for a minute and basically somebody was like, well, how much do you need? Here it is. Because these people also understand how important high school sports is in Michiana, but we can't do what we do. We can't do our jobs without getting paid, and those sponsors are making this happen. So when you hear ads today, when you see ads today, please make sure you support those sponsors, because they are absolutely critical to the success of Sports Michiana. Now, the good thing is, if you're already seeing this, you know where to find us, but tell others where to find us. And where do you find us? Facebook, Sports Michiana, or WSBT. YouTube, Sports Michiana, or WSBT. And then the IHSA Champions Network, IHSATV.org, and that will be very critical when we get to the postseason, because that will be the only way that you can see games from Sports Michiana in tournament action. So make sure you bookmark those pages. Make sure you continue to support our advertisers. Make sure you follow us. And here's one other little nugget of good news. We're done talking right now. It's time for the game of the week. What starts as M62 in Michigan becomes State Road 23 in Indiana, and it winds up here at Host Rosser Field, the road that connects the Edwardsburg Eddies with the John Glenn Falcons in an interstate matchup tonight on the Sports Michiana Game of the Week. And how you doing, everybody? Alongside the Hall of Famer Bo Hundt, and my co-founder, Angelo Carlo, it's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us on what has become a beautiful night for football in northern Indiana. The Edwardsburg Eddies come into this one, Bo, coming off a 5-5 year last year. They did make the playoffs in Michigan, but that's not up to their standards. What is their standard? Well, it's running the wing T, and that's what Dan Purley's team will do tonight.
Yeah, they're definitely going to run that wing T and, getting back to the basics. They've had undefeated seasons, gone deep in the playoffs. Last year was a little bit of disappointment for them, and they knew that, and they knew they had to get back at the basics, and that's what they did in the offseason.
And Dan Purley says they made a lot of progress and built confidence in that offseason.
Oh, I think our offseason was huge, and as I reflected today, that was the one thing that kind of came to mind was all the hard work these guys have put in for 9 months for this moment right now. So I'm proud of their efforts. They've worked extremely hard, and it's put them in a position to have some success this year.
John Glenn has already played a game under new coach Ron Brown. They beat Boone Grove last week in the season opener. Now they have to get ready for this physical Edwardsburg team. Oh, and they have their own plan.
Yeah, their plan is to be the more physical team. Talking to a few of the coaches before the game, they want to come out here. They want to make a statement from the very first snap that they want to be the more physical team. They've been practicing all week. They're going to line up. They're going to come after the Eddies, and they're going to do it the right way.
And Ron Brown, who is a Michigan boy himself, believes that his team is playing for a little bit more than a victory tonight.
Absolutely. I feel like that. A lot of people are assuming that we just play basketball here down in Indiana. And, our boys are locked in. They want to show great effort, and we want to show that we play football down here also.
Angelo Carlo will be roaming the sidelines once again tonight, and I know you've already seen a couple of storylines that you're looking into.
Yeah, first of all, the biggest factor here is Glenn has played a game, Edwardsburg has not. How long does it take Edwardsburg to get up to game speed? Then you throw in the weather. Right now, it feels pretty breezy, feels good. It was really, really hot. It's still very humid. And earlier in the week was very, very hot and humid. Practices all over the place. How does that affect conditioning here tonight? All those things could play a factor, especially for Edwardsburg, who hasn't played yet, and maybe that gives John Glenn an advantage, especially early on in the game.
The Eddies have not played a game in the Hoosier State since before these two guys were alive. Wish I could say the same. Nevertheless, it's Edwardsburg and John Glenn. We've got our Lilliard Insurance keys to win on the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show. That's next on the Sports Michiana Game of the Week.
You're watching the Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week, brought to you by Tony Letcher Health Markets, Tire Rack, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, the St. Joseph County Police Department, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, Reliance, the Lilliard Insurance Agency, Big C Lumber, Crown Trophy, and these great sponsors.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
Shopping for tires used to be like pulling teeth. That was before I went to TireRack.com. TireRack's Tire Decision Guide made it easy to drill down to the right tires for me.
What?
Oh, I got a great deal. My tires shipped fast and free and arrived the next day. I even got 2 years of free road hazard protection.
Where?
You're darn right, wow. Next time your tires get long in the tooth, visit TireRack.com.
TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
In 1969, America celebrated men landing on the moon. Now the USA is trying to return, and Imagineering Finishing Technologies in South Bend is helping pave the way. IFT is providing paint, chemical conversion coatings, and non-destructive testing services for NASA's Space Launch System and Orion spacecraft, which will deliver astronauts to the moon and possibly Mars. Help make it happen by joining the Imagineering Finishing Technologies team at iftww.com/careers.
Just graduated high school and now wondering what's next? Ready to start making a difference? Now is your chance. The St. Joe County Police Department Correctional Officer's starting pay is $50,000. Working in the jail can teach you life skills that you can use as a correctional or police officer. Benefits include vacation, medical, dental, and vision. For more information, call Sergeant Kylie Williams at 574-245-6263 or apply at sjcpd.org.
This edition of the Sports Michiana High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. You are looking live at Hostrasser Field in Walkerton, where the captains meeting at midfield as Edwardsburg gets ready to meet John Glenn. Time now for our St. Joe County Police Department pregame show featuring the Lilliard Insurance Keys to Win. And we'll start with the Edwardsburg Eddies, who come in to open the season with a veteran quarterback in Zeke Pagura, the 6'4", 205-pound senior. Pagura, number 8 there on your screen, threw for 172 yards and 4 touchdowns last year. He also ran for 216 yards and 8 touchdowns. And he's got a great Swiss Army knife of a player in Oscar Morris, who is their top linebacker, top returning tackler with 150 career tackles. This year on offense, they'll slate him as a tight end. The keys to win for the Eddies.
The keys to win tonight for the Edwardsburg Eddies: control that line of scrimmage. The big hogs up front need to make sure they get push on that offensive line. Take care of the football. They can't afford any turnovers in this type of offense. And on defense, eliminate those big plays.
Meanwhile, the John Glenn Falcons come in with a record of 1-0, and Braden Benwell was a key reason why they beat Boone Grove last week. The junior quarterback made his starting debut with 114 yards rushing and a touchdown, 52 yards passing and a touchdown. He's also a key defensive back on the other side of the ball, and he'll get some help from Blake Wright, the 215-pound junior running back who rumbled for 88 yards and a touchdown last week, and as a linebacker had 52 tackles a year ago. The keys to win for Ron Brown and the Falcons.
The keys to win tonight for the Falcons: tackle everyone every single play. On defense, not knowing where they're going to go with the ball with that wing tee, so make sure they wrap up everybody on every fake. Be the more physical team, exactly what they talked about all week, and limit turnovers and penalties. That will kill any team in any game.
Those are Lilliard Insurance keys to win on the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show, and we're going to keep it right here because it appears both teams are ready for kickoff, even though there's 2:43 left on the warm-up clock. You know what? We'll squeeze in one more break before we have the opening kick. Let's pause for this timeout. You're watching the Sports Michiana Game of the Week.
For over 100 years, experience and inspiration have been the foundation of Big C Lumber. I'm Mark Young. Deciding on the perfect cabinetry for your home can be overwhelming. It's best to depend on our consultants with decades of experience at Big C Lumber. Your needs and wishes will be matched with our guidance in the creation of new spaces. We call this customer-inspired design, representing your personality, your style. Visit Big C Lumber, where the possibilities are endless.
John Hostrasser Field. That's Will's dad, Will, the longtime LaVille coach and now the athletic director there. And let's take a look at our weather conditions tonight, brought to us by our friends at Beef O'Brady's. The weather at kickoff has cooled considerably since we arrived. 79 degrees, a gentle zephyr now out of the northwest at 6 miles an hour, but there is still a 30% chance of rain. And as we join you on this live stream on both the Sports Michiana Facebook and YouTube pages, we can tell you that A lot of games in northern Indiana, including the Penn-Mishawaka game, the Northridge Elkhart game, are under weather delays right now, but we're fortunate that this one seems ready to go.
Our first quarter tonight is brought to you by O'Connor Delivery Services. North Liberty-based O'Connor Delivery Service has been delivering products across the country for 17 years for the commercial industry. Owners Jeff and Tracy O'Connor are cheering on the Falcons. O'Connor Delivery Service, let us worry about all your delivery needs.
And there you see our officiating crew tonight. Ben Baker working with Philip Hutchin, Russell Carson, William Boyd, and Jack Peters. And as always, the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Michigan High School Athletic Association, both looking for more officials in just about every sport. If you're interested, I know in St. Joe County of Indiana, you can contact Jimmy Arnett at the St. Joe Valley Officials Association, and he'll be more than happy to hook you up. John Glenn won the toss and elected to receive, and the Falcons will send deep. Aiden White, a freshman. Carter Houseworth waits to put the ball on the tee for Edwardsburg and kick off the 2024 Eddies season.
Tonight's check on what the teams are wearing is brought to you by It's Tops in Mishawaka. The Edwardsburg Eagles wearing their white jersey, blue pants, and blue helmets. John Glenn Falcons wearing all black pants, jerseys, and helmets. Brought to you by It's Tops.
Eddies and the Falcons ready to tee it up here on Sports Michiana. And wherever you are watching, we appreciate you joining us for high school football. Houseworth awaits the official signal. And it's time for football on Sports Michiana. High spinning kick that goes over through the hands of Anthony McGuigan. He'll pick it up back at the 3, running along the goal line, and McGuigan and the Falcons will have terrible field position to start with after terrific special teams coverage by Edwardsburg. Grady Ostrander on the tackle, and the Falcons of John Glenn will start back at their own 1-yard line.
Wow, he ran about 15 yards, but straight sideways on that play. You needed to get upfield. There was no room on that, but still you got to get upfield and give your offense just a little bit of room. Now they're clear back at the goal line here to start their first offensive drive.
A great kick by Carter Houseworth as you get another look on the John Glenn School Corporation replay. McGuigan running into all kinds of trouble, and now the junior quarterback Braden Benwell will bring his offense out starting from the 1-yard line. Joseph Overmeyer, the center. They line up in the gun. Blake Wright just to the right of Benwell, and Wright barely made it out of the end zone, but gets out to about the 2. A pickup of 1 for the John Glenn fullback. Let's meet that John Glenn starting offense for you. Along with Wright in the backfield, there's Gabe Goodsell. The receivers are brothers, Brody and Drew King. Anthony McGuigan is the tight end. That's the Edwardsburg offense. We'll check them out when they have the football. There's the John Glenn offense, and that offensive line, Miles Cheaton and Aiden Smigelski. Pretty big combo on the one side of the line. 2nd and 9. And it's Benwell keeping it on the read option, and Braden Benwell works his way out to the 6-yard line. A pickup of 4 for the junior quarterback who had a good week running the football last week. Let's meet the Edwardsburg defense. It's being brought to you by JBLS Septic and Excavation. Gavin O'Day gets the start on the defensive end spot, but Walker Carafa, the veteran of that group. We told you about Morris, 150 career tackles. Carson Sebra, another solid linebacker. A lot of baseball players in the back end, including Brody Shimpa, the leading scorer from the basketball team. 3rd down and 5. Blake Wright met in the backfield, plowed his way to the 9, but he's still going to be 2 yards short of the first down, and it would appear to be a punting situation for the Falcons.
Great job by this Eddies defense, really sticking the offensive line, not letting them to get any push off the ball, and that means the running backs are getting hit right at the line of scrimmage and kind of carrying forward for those 1- and 2-yard pickups. And
with John Glenn punting into the wind, you would anticipate that Edwardsburg was going to be starting in plus territory here. As A.J. Lebelski lines up in punt formation, he only averaged 20 yards a punt last week. He averaged about 30 a kick last season. No pressure on him, and Lebelski with a line drive kick will hang up in the air and be fielded back at the 47-yard line. Brody Shimpa brings it back to the 39, and Edwardsburg will have terrific field position for its first possession of 2024. They'll spot it at the 35-yard line, and that's where Zeke Pagura and the Eddies will take over. Pagura, in his second year of running this offense, told me this week, Bo, he feels much more confident, much more relaxed running it for a second season.
Yeah, once you get that first season underneath your belt, the second season comes a lot easier, and the fakes do as well.
The wing tee, and it's Carson Sebra on the handoff, and he has nowhere to go. He was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage as we get a chance to meet the Edwardsburg offense, brought to us by the Ann Cole Training Center. Sebra in that backfield along with Grant Griffin and Grady Ostrander. Morris moves from guard to tight end, as does Nick Walker. So along the offensive line, your experience is Alec Widman and Walker Carafa. They're both returning starters. 2nd and 10 for the Eddies, who run out of this wing tee offense. And again, it's Sebra taking the handoff. Big hole, he's gone. Touchdown, Edwardsburg. Carson Sebra from 35 yards out, and Edwardsburg wastes no time getting a Tony Gadeski Farm Bureau Insurance touchdown.
Well, just like that, they bust right through. A little bit of lost coverage there by the Falcons defense. You got to be able to fill your gaps. Here's the John Glenn School Corp replay. You can see him get the handoff right up the middle, missed tackle right there at the line of scrimmage, and he was able to get through, bust in through that touchdown.
Carter Houseworth will come on to try the extra point. Houseworth, the 5'8 senior, who really got things started for Edwardsburg in this game with the kickoff that went through the hands of McGuigan. The snap, set down, and kick are all good, and with 9:01 to go in the first quarter, the Edwardsburg Eddies strike first as they take a 7-0 lead on John Glenn on this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week.
Your car carries precious cargo. It needs to be dependable, rain or shine. Let Tom's Car Care Center in South Bend help take the stress out of your car's maintenance. We'll change your oil in 10 minutes, flush your transmission, replace your wiper blades, and much more. Oil changes include a half-price car wash when needed. Welcome to your extended family, Tom's Car Care Center.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
The Sports Michiana High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. A different receiver on the kickoff this time, and Brody King is electric for John Glenn. King brings it all the way back to the 47-yard line. Much different story in terms of field position for the Falcons.
Yeah, that's a huge return for them. Get them back from where they were in that first start. A reminder that Edwardsburg scoring is brought to you by Tony Gadeski Farm Bureau Insurance, located in Edwardsburg, and offers a wide variety of insurance, including life, home, auto, business, and farm insurance. You can contact Tony Gadeski Farm Bureau Insurance at 269-663-8445, and go Eddies.
They'll spot it at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 for John Glenn. And whistles blown even before the false start as a timeout is called by Edwardsburg. The timeout sponsored by Papa's Pizza and Sensational Scoops. 8:53 to go, first quarter. Back with more after this.
Your garage door keeps your home, family, and valuables safe and secure. Make sure it always looks good and works well. Precision Garage Door is your one-stop shop for design, installation, and repairs. Count on us to help you choose the right materials, style, and color for your new door. And when you need repairs, we're ready. Our friendly, trained technicians work around your schedule and are available 24/7 for emergency repairs. Call your local Precision Garage Door today.
Garage doors done done right.
I joined Notre Dame Federal Credit Union a long time ago.
1978.
I've been a member over 15 years.
I've worked with Notre Dame my whole banking life.
44 years.
I have my checking account there. I have my savings account there.
Really value the
community-based banking system.
My credit card with Notre Dame. I have my car insurance with Notre Dame.
I can't say enough good things, really.
We come back to live action at Ostrosser Field. 1st and 10 for John Glenn. The handoff to Blake Wright. He goes off the right side and picks up 5 before Carson Zebra makes the stop. And Wright, the three-sport athlete who plays basketball and baseball, goes behind the surge of that right side of the offensive line with Cooper Reister and Eli Wallace.
Coming up at halftime will be our Student Athletes of the Week, presented by Tony Letcher. Tony is a lifelong resident of Michiana and a licensed insurance agent with Health Markets. If you need insurance, Tony is your guy. Google Tony Letcher Health Markets to connect.
2nd and 5 from the 46-yard line. Benwell looks to throw and puts it out into the flat to his tight end who flexed out there, Eli Beanie. And Beanie is still on the run. The big fella takes it all the way down to the 25-yard line, a pickup of 21 on the play. And Beanie, who was an all-state linebacker last year, shows his toughness here. A pickup of 21 on the play. You get another look on the John Glenn School Corporation replay.
Nice job of really getting the ball out quickly. Missed that first tackle. Great downfield block there by the wide receiver, picking up that big first down.
That was Drew King on the block that time for Glenn. They'll spot it at the 26-yard line. The handoff. Nope. Play action, and it's dropped by King. King made a great block the play before, but Drew couldn't hang on to that one. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Great little play action right there, hitting the wide receiver right on the numbers, but the problem was it went right through his hands and hit his numbers.
So now 2nd and 10, and neither one of these teams necessarily great at being behind the chains, although it certainly didn't affect Edwardsburg on its 2nd and 10 play. They just cracked it open for 35 and a touchdown. Benwell hands it off to Wright. He tries to go up the middle, plows his way forward for about 2 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 8.
Reminder, our first quarter is brought to you by O'Connor Delivery Services. They're North Liberty based, and they have been delivering products across the country for 17 years for the commercial industry. Owners Jeff and Tracy O'Connor are cheering on the Falcons. O'Connor Delivery Service, let us worry about all your delivery needs.
Got a very athletic quarterback here in Braden Benwell. Moves well, and they're setting twins to each side of him here on this key 3rd and 8. Benwell will keep it himself. He made the right read. He just couldn't get far enough. Carson Zebra and a host of Eddies put him down after a pickup of 4. 4th down, and Ron Brown will probably have to go for it here. He'd be kicking into the wind with a field goal kicker that doesn't have great range.
Yeah, they're definitely out of field goal range at this point, and when you're at this position on the field, you usually go for it in this situation, because if you don't punt it, you're more than likely going to punt in the end zone if you don't have anybody that can really get it into those corners.
Scoreboard says 4, might be closer to 5 here on 4th down. 6:27 to go, first quarter. Edwards showing blitz, and flags thrown and whistles blown. Glenn trying to say that Edwardsburg jumped offside. If they did, it could be awfully close to a first down.
Yeah, that's going to be, if that's on Edwardsburg, that's the back judge that actually called that when none of the line judges called that at all, and they would have been the ones to see that guy come off sides.
So the officials talking it over here. Huge call in this game, and they'll wave off the flag. Great point, Bo, because that is indeed what happened.
Big shout out to Bourbon Street Pizza for feeding our crew tonight with some fantastic pizzas. They have 8 locations throughout Michiana, including right here in Walkerton on Roosevelt Road. They offer dine-in, takeout, and delivery. Go Falcons and go Bourbon Street Pizza.
No blitz this time. Benwell throws in the flat, and it's too short for Brody King. He'll make the catch, but no gain, and Edwardsburg holds on downs. There was pressure coming that time for the Eddies, and they forced Benwell to get rid of it quicker than he would have liked.
Yeah, he's open in the flats there, but Benwell had to get rid of it quick. Like you said, the big pressure by the Eddies defense.
So Edwardsburg started its first drive in plus territory. They'll have to go 78 yards this time. And we'll see how the Eddies do it here. Lining up in that wing tee again with Zeke Pagura at quarterback. And Pagura hands it off, and it's Grant Griffin who's stacked up for a pickup of 2.
The John Glenn School Corporation is proud to be recognized by the Indiana Department of Education for achieving back-to-back 100% graduation rates. John Glenn continues to pursue excellence in the entire education experience for our students in our community. John Glenn School Corporation.
You may have noticed no clock, no down and distance on the scoreboard tonight, but I'll keep giving it to you. 5:35 to go first quarter, 2nd and 8. The pitch goes to, I believe that's Sebra, and he gets plowed down by Eli Beanie after a pickup of 2. Indeed, no, that was not Sebra that time. That was Noah Jacobs.
One thing that Edwardsburg will do is they'll rotate in 4 or 5. We've even seen 6, 7 running backs in the backfield in that wing tee offense, just rotating in fresh bodies and fresh legs.
So a 3rd and 5 from the 27. And it's a handoff up the middle and a first down for Edwardsburg. They get it out to the 34-yard line. Fine carry that time.
But that might have been Shimpa on that carry.
It was. So Brody Shimpa getting a little time in the backfield tonight. And he made a key first down carry there for about 7 yards.
First down, 10 yards to go from the 34-yard line.
1st and 10 from its own 34 for the Eddies, leading 7-0. Pagura turns and hands it off. Shimpa again around the right side, and he's got room to run. And it's gone. It's not Shimpa. It is Grady Ostrander, and he is gone. Goodbye. Touchdown, Edwardsburg. 66 yards, no flags.
Another one of the plays where they fake to the first guy, give to the second, and then fake to the third and keep carrying that out. You don't know exactly where the ball's going to get, and when you're a running back that size in there, nice, stout, and strong, you get through that line when you got some big hosses up front. Scoring, again, sponsored by the Tony Godesky Farm Bureau Insurance.
The game plan for John Glenn was to tackle everybody, and that's why you never know for sure who's got the ball. In this case, it was Ostrander, and he was way out in front of everybody. We were all had our eyes on 32, and it was Ostrander out in front as Carter Houseworth's extra point is up and good. And with 4:38 to go in the first quarter, Edwardsburg now leads it 14-0 on Sports Michiana's Game of the Week.
Your garage door keeps your home, family, and valuables safe and secure. Make sure it always looks good and works well. Precision Garage Door is your one-stop shop for design, installation, and repairs. Count on us to help you choose the right materials, style, and color for your new door. And when you need repairs, we're ready. Our friendly trained technicians work around your schedule and are available 24/7 for emergency repairs. Call your local Precision Garage Door today.
Shopping for tires used to be like pulling teeth.
Hostrasser Field, the site of this interstate clash between Edwardsburg and John Glenn, and so far it's been all Eddies as the visitors from Michigan have come down and put a 14-0 lead on John Glenn after Carter Houseworth's extra point. Still 4:38 to go here in the first quarter. Houseworth puts the boot to it. And the spinning kick again taken by Brody King at his 10. King gets through a hole, runs over a tackler, and gets to the 35-yard line. Another good return by Brody King. It was Gabe Smith on the tackle for the Eddies.
The Ann Cole Training Center offers horseback riding lessons for all ages. Your horse or their horse, the Ann Cole Training Center provides a heated indoor arena, horse training, and boarding. They're located just 5 minutes from Edwardsburg High School on Conrad Road. Learn more at AnnColeHorses.com and go Eddies.
You see offensive coordinator Brett Badek with the headset on, sending in the play with his offense. Glenn had a drive going on its last possession, but a drop pass and an errant pass led to the end of that scoring threat. We'll see how the Falcons respond here in a 14-0 hole.
They definitely had some opportunities here. They're going to really spread it out, put 3 wide out here.
Benwell wants to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Now he wants to run. Benwell showing the shifty feet. Still on his feet. First down and more as he gets to the midfield stripe. A pickup of 15.
Nice little scramble by Benwell, getting to the outside. Got that Eddies defense spread out a little bit. Gave him a little bit of room. Here you can see on the John Glenn School Corp instant replay.
They'll spot it at the 49. And Braden Benwell picking up where he left off last week. 13 carries, 114 yards in that win over Boone Grove. And they're actually going to put it not at the John Glenn 49, but the Edwardsburg 49.
Upgrading your window treatments? Don't DIY it. Call Quality Window Treatments with free in-person consultations, design help, and local installation. There's no guesswork required. Visit QualityWindowTreatment.com and see your space in a whole new light.
Benwell pump fake, had a lot of room to run on the left side, but nice pursuit by the cornerback that time. Coming up to make the stop for Edwardsburg, it's Joe Lundgren, who really fought off the block of Drew King and held Benwell to a 1-yard gain when it looked like there was a lot more.
What I really liked about that was he was fending off the defender at the same time and really was able to keep his outside arm clean and able to come up and keep that containment.
Lundgren, a 5'9", 165-pound senior, also a mention, a member of A.J. Godesky's Edwardsburg baseball team, which won the district title last year. Now Benwell wants to throw. Oscar Morris flushes him out. It's caught behind the line of scrimmage, and that'll be a loss of 2 on the play, or is it incomplete?
Looks like they're waving it off, actually saying it hit the ground, which is actually better for John Glenn because they would have lost about 1.5 yards if they would have called it a completed pass.
Walter Drews tried to come back and get that one, but it was Oscar Morris supplying the pressure, the all-conference linebacker from a year ago, who came into this game with 150 career tackles, and that's twice that he's been able to get in the face of Benwell. 3rd and 10 for the Falcons. Gabe Goodsell, the fullback, comes over to the near side. Benwell fires, and the slant is incomplete. It was behind his intended receiver, Drew King. But again, good coverage by Lundgren and the Eddies.
Yeah, throw just a little behind King there, but great coverage by Edwardsburg on that.
So now, Glenn looking at a 4th and 10. The punter is A.J. Lebelski, but he is finally coming onto the field here.
Yeah, down marker across says 3rd and 10, but it is 4th down.
And the scoreboard says 4th and 10, but you just want to make... See, there's confusion for the players because the down marker was wrong. Now they flipped the down marker.
Now they only have 8 seconds, 7.
And Glenn's going to have to use a timeout because of the problems over on the far side with the down marker.
Papa's Pizza in Edwardsburg is a proud supporter of the Eddies. Open for lunch and dinner. You've got to try the monster 20-inch pizza, pizza bread, and excellent breadsticks. And when you're done, grab some ice cream next door at Sensational Scoops.
Well, we mentioned the fact that this is a rare interstate matchup. For Edwardsburg, it is the first time that they have come and played in the Hoosier State since 1967 when they took on Jimtown. So it's hard to believe that with the proximity that the Eddies have to the state line, that in football they just don't get down here all that often.
Yeah, that's really surprising with the football. I know the basketball and especially the baseball crosses over. Football is just surprising that it's been that long.
They have played other teams out of state. They played Elmhurst, Illinois back in 2011. 4th and 10. Lebelski's punt is a high hanger, and they'll let it hit. It takes an Eddie roll and dies at the 23.5-yard line. So again, Edwardsburg will have to march the distance, but big plays have been the story of the first quarter for Edwardsburg. They had a 35-yard touchdown run from Carson Sebra and a 66-yard TD run from Grady Ostrander to cap their first 2 possessions.
Beef O'Brady's on 23 in Granger is always cheering on the Eddies. Bring the family out for Burger Mondays, Taco Tuesdays, or Wing Wednesdays. Plus, enjoy a game on their brand new TVs. Beef O'Brady's, where game time meets family time.
Edwardsburg getting set in that wing tee once again. The handoff to Brody Shimpa, and Shimpa stacked up by Eli Beanie after a pickup of one. But the fact of the matter is, plays like that have not bothered Edwardsburg tonight.
No, I mean, they'll take those plays because what they're trying to do is trying to get you accustomed to coming in and breaking down on those plays, and next thing you know, somebody else has the ball, and our camera's following somebody else that doesn't have the ball.
Not the cameraman's fault either.
No.
We had problems picking it up as well from all the way up here. 2nd down and 8. Pagura gives it off, and there's another touchdown run. This one will be Grant Griffin, and they can't find him. They can't catch him. 75 yards, no flags. Edwardsburg scores again. Wow. What a job by the Eddies. They really have John Glenn on their heels right now, and it's a 20-0 Edwardsburg lead.
That scoring sponsored again by Tony Gadeski, Farm Bureau Insurance. Again, they faked the exact last play that they ran, exactly where they did it the play before. Here's the John Glenn School Corp replay. Fake that play, give it on the counter. Wow. Crossbuck, just a great job, man.
And terrific blocking up front as well. The Carter Houseworth extra point is up, and it is good. And with 2:35 to go in the first quarter, it's all Eddies so far. 21-0 Edwardsburg leads it on Sports Michiana.
I joined Notre Dame Federal Credit Union a long time ago.
1978. I've been a member over 15 years.
I've worked with Notre Dame my whole banking life.
44 years. I have my checking account there. I have my savings account there.
Really value the
community-based banking system.
My credit card with Notre Dame. I have my car insurance with Notre Dame.
I can't say enough good things, really.
I have my auto loans with Notre Dame.
My whole life is at Notre Dame Credit
I will
Union.
remain with them until the day I die.
It's one unique, one special vibe.
This edition of the Sports Michiana High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, putting people over profits. Edwardsburg over John Glenn so far here at Host Rosser Field, 21-0, as the Eddies have had the ball for a total of 8 plays and have 188 rushing yards. Carter Houseworth's kick again taken by Brody King at the 12. This has been the one consistent facet since the opening kickoff, and we have a very late flag come in from the side judge behind the play. So we'll see what this is all about.
Locally owned Central Automotive in downtown South Bend is your answer for oil changes, brakes, air conditioning repair, general maintenance, and more. Check them out on Lafayette and Colfax. Central Automotive. We're here for all your automotive needs.
We've got a personal foul face mask call against Edwardsburg. And that'll be a 15-yard tack on the play, which will give John Glenn good field position at the 46. But so far, the Falcons have not been able to take advantage when they've had that.
No, and that came from way behind the play, and so I'm not sure where that was on the field or if it was something that they couldn't quite get the flag out right away on that. But they're going to give them great field position here to start their third series. See if they can actually get the ball down and get some points.
You have the feeling from where the official threw it, it was something that wasn't involved anywhere near the tackle on the play. But has not been a costly penalty yet for Edwardsburg. We'll see if John Glenn can cash in something and show some signs of life down 21-0. Braden Benwell wants to throw. Under pressure, he's going to run. Benwell with room. He's got the first down and more. Benwell stopped at the 38-yard line. And that'll be a pickup of 16 yards and a Falcon first down.
Benwell's been a great bright spot for this John Glenn offense. Really kind of the only one kind of doing anything at this point with his legs. And a lot of that's with the pressure that Edwardsburg is giving on the corners, coming up and keeping contained, him ability to get upfield.
Yeah, most of what he's been able to run for has not been on designed runs, but on passing plays. 5 carries for 40 yards so far here in the first quarter. 2:08 and counting here in the first stanza with Edwardsburg up 21-0. Low snap. Blake Wright was able to get the handoff, though, and pick up about 3 yards.
Blake Wright on the carry for the Falcons.
Kind of a little bit similar to Oscar Morris for Edwardsburg. He's a young man that has played a little bit of offensive line. In fact, he was a starting offensive lineman his freshman year, has now moved to running back.
Yeah, depends on how much work you're going to put in the offseason, and a lot of times when you come in as a freshman, you might not be the guy go-to in the backfield. They need you someplace else, and then by the time you become a junior or senior, you know what? Now you've earned that spot.
2nd and 7 for the Falcons. 1:20 to go, first quarter. Benwell wants to throw. Got a good block from Wright that time. He's got Brody King. King down the sidelines, just short of the end zone. They'll spot him down at the 2. That's a 33-yard pickup for Brody King.
Nice route by King, running the corner route, getting up the field, getting away from the defender, and a good job by Benwell putting it on the money, not leading them too much. Big pickup down at the 4 now for the Falcons.
But the key to the play was the blitz pickup by Wright that gave Benwell time and gave King time to run the route. 1st and goal from the 2. Wright lines up to the left of Benwell. And it's Wright trying to plow his way in, and the Edwardsburg defense won't have it as Walker Carafa comes in and corrals him at the line of scrimmage.
JBLS Septic and Excavation is proud to support the Eddies. They are the new option for septic and excavation needs in Southwest Michigan. JBLS Septic and Excavation offers prompt appointments and excellent customer service. JBLS Septic and Excavation. You dump, we pump.
The game clock at 27, the play clock at 19. So John Glenn will have to run a play before the quarter expires. Benwell again in the shotgun. Looks, pumps, runs back, and is he in? Touchdown, John Glenn. Brady Benwell with a rather circuitous route for a 1-yard touchdown run. His 2nd TD of the season, and the Falcons are on the scoreboard.
I'm not sure if that was even really a pass play. I think it might have been set up for a quarterback draw and just kind of get out, kind of get it set up, and then head up the middle. Kind of looks just a little fake, and as soon as he did that fake, he cut it up in the middle.
So the Falcons will line up for A.J. Puccio to kick the extra point out of the swinging gate formation. And instead they snap it to Wright, and he'll plow in for 2. So Blake Wright uses a little chicanery on special teams to pull Edwardsburg within 21-8 with 6.3 seconds to go in the first.
Yeah, that's going to be one of those plays where a team's going to have to prepare for that in the future, so they're going to have to practice against that. Hey, do you have joint or muscle pain that just won't go away? Try Elevate Wellness Solutions. With evidence-based regenerative therapy techniques, Elevate will get you back in the game faster. Get to elevateatc.com to set up your appointment today.
John Glenn showing some signs of life on that offensive possession, but now the Falcons defense has to come up with a way to stop this wing T. Edwardsburg has had 3 possessions and 3 touchdowns. The Eddies going 5-5 a year ago. They did qualify for the districts in Michigan. However, they lost to Niles. Scott Shaw's team had a tremendous squad last year. Expected to have another good one this year, taking on St. Joseph tonight in the season opener up in Michigan. But we've got a lot of delays tonight. Elkhart, Northridge, Goshen, New Prairie, Penn, Mishawaka, Concord, Jimtown, all in weather delays right now. And it'll be John Glenn, I think, needs one more player out on the field. Nope, they've got 11. What are they missing? Oh, they're missing the ball.
The ball.
That will tend to slow you down. Let's check some other scores. Logansport leading Adams. That's 14-0 in the first quarter at School Field. Now we're ready to go. And it'll be Oscar Villa doing the kicking for John Glenn. Jimtown has taken a 7-0 lead on Concord in the first. Villa with a line drive kick. It's bobbled back there by Joe Lundgren. He finally has it at the 15 and then gets wrapped up. Gage Caverly comes over and makes the stop for John Glenn with 0.8 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
John Glenn School's educational experience is one of the best in the state. It is evidence of hard work, determination, and the no-excuse perspective embodied in the John Glenn community of students, staff, and families.
So one last play to get us going here in the first quarter, as the Eddies already up 21-8. They'll give it off to the last man through, and that is Noah Jacobs, and he carries for 5 yards to bring the first quarter to an end. Well, I don't know what Dan Purley was listening to on the way down, but may have been the Eagles, because certainly the long run was featured for Edwardsburg in the first quarter. They had touchdown scampers of 35, 66, and 77, and they lead Glenn 21-8 after one on Sports Michiana.
Your garage door keeps your home, family, and valuables safe and secure. Make sure it always looks good and works well. Precision Garage Door is your one-stop shop for design, installation, and repairs. Count on us to help you choose the right materials, style, and color for your new door. And when you need repairs, we're ready. Our friendly trained technicians work around your schedule and are available 24/7 for emergency repairs. Call your local Precision Garage Door today.
Garage doors done right.
Founded in 2001 by brothers Sam and Levi, Reliance has built a reputation for excellence, providing high-quality home building and renovation services to the Michiana area. From single-room renovations like kitchens and bathrooms to building your dream home from the ground up, everything benefits from their decades of experience. From concept to completion, Reliance makes even the largest projects simple and hassle-free. To find out more, visit RelianceDBR.net. Reliance. Design, build, renovate.
Host Rosser Field. Let's go to Angelo Carlo for a sideline report. Ange?
Keeper for Edwardsburg. Penalty flags on the play.
All right, thank you very much, Ange. Flags flying on that play as Zeke Pagura had his first carry of the game, but he tried to hurdle a tackler, and that might be the problem. We'll see if that is the call, because while you can do that in the college and pro game, you cannot do it in the high school game. Nope, it's a holding call against Edwardsburg.
Hey, you want to help your team look great? It's Tops can help. They are the official outfitter for a number of local high schools and even Sports Michiana. And they can do a lot more than just clothes. Learn more at itstops.net.
I would keep an eye on the Sports Michiana Facebook and Instagram pages over the weekend for some news from It's Tops.
Are you throwing a little tidbit out there?
I'm
a
just
little
saying.
rabbit's foot?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Just saying. Great opportunity coming up for people.
Meanwhile, Ron Brown saying, hey, we took 10 yards on the penalty. Why didn't that get marked off?
Looks like just 5 yards on the holding call.
And the official's saying, okay, it's a holding call. And the side judge saying here was the line of scrimmage. So now there's still confusion down there on the sidelines. 21-8 the score, 11:53 to go for second quarter, And they're leaving the ball where it is, so it's almost just like a do-over. It's going to be 2nd and 5 all over again. Pagura under center. Looks to throw. He's got a man wide open. Another flag comes in. I believe this one will be coming back.
Oh, Shimpo is going to pick up his first touchdown of his senior year. And it's like I think they're going to call a holding call again.
So Brody Shimpo looked like he had a 72-yard touchdown pass, but it is negated here. As you see the play on the John Glenn School Corporation replay, another holding call against Edwardsburg. And this one will likely be marked off.
Yeah. You can see where the holding call was called. That's where they throw the flag at.
The call was at the 24. And they will mark this one 5 yards from the spot of the infraction back to the 19.
Still second down, but second down and 14 or 15 at this point.
It's a shame for Edwardsburg because it was a beautifully designed and run play, except for the hold. Now, in the backfield, they hand it off. And coming forward, it'll be Grady Ostrander, and he'll get up to about the 29-yard line. That's a pickup of 7 on the play.
That's a nice little pickup and bringing a very manageable third down. Gives them all types of options now on this play.
The Eddies have been very equitable with their carries. 5 different players have carries in the game for Edwardsburg. All of them have 2 carries apiece. So whose turn is it now? It's Brody Shimpa trying to get around the outside, and Shimpa plowing his way forward has the first down up to the 34-yard line. They'll move the chains for the Eddies. He needed 4, gets 5.
Great job by Shimpa, following his blockers, getting upfield and picking up just enough to get that first down.
Shimpa's a strong young man, 6'3", 185-pound senior. He is all-conference in both basketball and baseball. I mentioned the leading scorer on the basketball team, but you see him in baseball. He's a good player.
Yeah, I've been associated with Brody since he's about 8 years old on the baseball field. Just a heck of an athlete, and glad he's out there playing football this year.
Now it's Grant Griffin on the carry, and Griffin is able to pick up about 3 on the play. The Edwardsburg players, when I talked to them this week, Bo, talked about the gains they made in the weight room in the off-season. They said maybe the commitment wasn't there in Coach Purley's first year. There was the transition from Kevin Bartz to Dan Purley, and people were unsure. Purley came in, endured the slings and arrows of a 5-5 season, but his players went back to work because they just didn't like losing.
Well, and the biggest thing when you get in the weight room and get in the offseason is those gains they're talking about are not just muscle and speed. They're the camaraderie that you gain, the respect that you gain, and the coaches themselves gain that from the kids.
Blake Wright upends Carson Sebra after a pickup of about 1 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Eddies.
Imaginary Finishing Technologies in South Bend is a longtime supporter of high school athletics. They're also helping NASA send astronauts back to the moon. Want to help? Learn more on joining the Imaginary Finishing Technologies team at iftww.com/careers.
9:30 to go, first half. Edwardsburg looking at a 3rd and 7. John Glenn's defense trying to get a big stop here and help the Falcons try to get back in this game. Handoff goes to one of the upbacks. It'll be Ostrander, and he is brought down after a pickup of 1. It'll be 4th down and perhaps the first punting situation of the year for Edwardsburg.
Great defensive stop so far by this Falcons defense after getting their first score on their board. Their defense really needed to step up. So far they have. Here Edwardsburg is going to send out
Pagura, the quarterback.
Right back out there, and we'll see if they run an offensive play.
Boy, Dan Purley is a gambling man. 4th and 6 at his own 38. Pagura looks to throw out in the flat and has his man. It's Grant Griffin. Griffin moving down the field out of bounds at the John Glenn 33-yard line. That is a pickup of 29 and a first down for the Eddies.
Great play action way to Segura just kept the ball inside his pouch so nobody could see him. And then over the top here you can see the John Glenn School Corp. Instant replay. Great job of really hiding that ball down in there. Just a little nice little touch pass.
And part of what the wing T does is you could see it on that play, the hesitation of the pass rushers because they don't want to come too far. And because they hesitated, it gave Pagura time for Griffin to run the route.
And the problem is if they don't come hard enough, they're not going to be able to stop the run.
Now on 1st and 10, it's Griffin again getting the call, and Griffin plows his way forward for about 2 yards on the play. He's had 4 carries and 82 yards tonight.
Big thank you to Lilliard Insurance Agency for all their work in helping Sports Michiana get to opening night. Real people, real service, real value. That's their slogan, but Matt Lilliard and his team also live it every single day. Visit realvalueins.com to get the personal touch you deserve.
Under 8 minutes to go, second quarter. And the handoff goes up the middle, and nothing doing that time for Edwardsburg. They'll get maybe 2 yards on the play. Looked like it might have been Alex Rudolph that time for his first carry of the game. Rudolph, the long snapper on the team with a 3.93 GPA, and we've got a timeout called by Edwardsburg. It's sponsored by Papa's Pizza and Sensational Scoops. 7:39 to go first half. 21-8 Eddies on Sports Michiana.
Are you tired of auto service from big box stores and new car dealers? 45 years ago, my parents, Bud and Diane, founded Zolman's with a strong commitment to the community. Today, Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care is still family owned and operated with over 150 employees and families. And we offer a price match guarantee on any tires from any local dealer, while providing complete auto service on all makes and all models. Serving you and your family for 3 generations. Buy local, shop local. Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care.
Finding private health insurance can be stressful. What if it didn't have to be? I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I prefer to personally meet with my clients so I can get a better understanding of your needs and budget. I can even review your current coverage. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
3rd and 7 from the John Glenn 30. Zeke Pagura gets buried in the backfield. Biggest play of the night for the Glenn defense as Eli Beanie smokes him at the 33. It'll be 4th and 10.
Pagura, the keeper, chopped to the backfield by Eli.
What a big hit that time by Beanie, the All-State linebacker from a year ago.
Big 4th down here again for Edwardsburg. Look for them possibly go back to that pass play.
Eli had 128 tackles last season for this John Glenn squad. 4th and 10. Last time out, Edwardsburg surprised the Falcons with a pass. Pagura wants to throw again. Has his man out of the backfield. It's Rudolph. He avoids 1 tackle, and he is awfully close to the first down. We'll have to see where the spot is. The side judge says move the chains. 1st and 10 for Edwardsburg. Let's go downstairs to Angelo DiCarlo. He's got a sideline guest.
Pass play was good enough for the first down.
Here he is. He only attended one.
Quality of the Eddies, you know, Brian Scheibel, who's the offensive coordinator now, has gone back to kind of exactly what we did, and he's done a phenomenal job. So it's good to be back here and see the Eddies do what they do.
What kept you away for a little bit last year before deciding, okay, now I can come back and actually kind of watch?
You know, it had to become Dan Purley's program at that point in time. I'd had my run, and It was easier for me to step away and not watch and be a part of it. And now that it's fully his program, I feel more comfortable coming and watching it this time.
Is it easier to watch it like this, or is it harder because do you feel like you want to still kind of coach?
Well, guy, I guess, as I'm even watching here, I'm like, okay, here's what I would call here. Here's, what I think they're going to do. And like I said, Brian's been with our program so long as the offensive coordinator now that, he's got a great system of his calling going down right now. And so it's probably definitely easier right here.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Anj, and a nice run that time for Edwardsburg as Noah Jacobs is able to pick up the first down, moving down to the 10-yard line. One of the Eddies slow to get up, and so the officials will stop the clock with 5:42 to go here in the first half.
Notre Dame Federal Credit Union serves nonprofits, churches, schools throughout the United States. They are the go-to people for nonprofit banking. You already share their values. Why not share in their benefits? Head to NotreDameFCU.com/elevate to learn more.
It's amazing the balance in this Edwardsburg backfield as they continue to rotate fresh backs in there. It's Jacobs trying to kick to the outside, now back to the inside. Nowhere to go this time. 0 yards on that play, but I can't tell you how many times tonight that's been the case. As you look at this running chart, 9 times Edwardsburg has had 0 to 2 yards on a carry. They don't care because, as you said, they'll come back, mirror the same play, but give it to somebody else, and the next thing you know, he pops.
Yeah, it's one of those offenses where it's a big play offense, and defensively you have to contain and you have to hold up your end of the bargain on where you're going to fill the holes.
And it's Shimpa carrying this time and powering his way up to the 5-yard line, and so it'll be 3rd and goal from there with 4:34 and counting to go here in the first half. A time-consuming drive for the Eddies.
Yeah, when you're preparing for this type of offense throughout the week, what you're doing is you're giving each guy an assignment. And you cannot overplay an assignment or try to take somebody else's assignment. You have to do your assignment and your assignment alone. And if that's to fill this A gap or this B gap or this C gap, you have to do that. Or the next thing you know, they're on a bus for 60, 70, 80 yards like they have in this game.
This has been almost an 8-minute march now for Edwardsburg. They got the ball with 0.8 seconds to go in the first quarter. And it'll be Rudolph stacked up here, and it'll be 4th and goal for the Eddies. And the only question here is, do you run Carter Houseworth on for a field goal? He's a very reliable kicker.
This is their 3rd 4th down of this series. Just done a great job of moving the chains and picking up 4th downs. And I think with being a 4th and 6 for points being put on the board, I'm sure they're going to go up there and do a little crossbuck, play action. Maybe Zakura keep it.
3:25 to go first half. An 8-minute, 38-second drive for Edwardsburg will result in a timeout. It's sponsored by Papa's Pizza and Sensational Scoops. I believe that is the last timeout for Edwardsburg here in the first half.
Respect, loyalty.
Finding private health insurance can be stressful. What if it didn't have to be? I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I prefer to personally meet with my clients so I can get a better understanding of your needs and budget. I can even review your current coverage. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
When contractors and OEMs need quality electrical products at the best prices, they look to Babsco Supply. We strive to supply all the electrical products you need for residential, light commercial, and OEM electrical components. We have the knowledge, dedication to customer service, and extensive inventory to ensure your electrical projects are completed successfully. We are employee-owned, which means all of our employees are owners. So you know we care. With locations in Elkhart and Warsaw, Babsco Supply is working together to serve you better. Learn more at babsco.com.
Goal. Here it is. Pagura on the bootleg. Can he get in? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Edwardsburg. Zeke Pagura keeps it from 6 yards out. What a drive for the Eddies. 8 minutes and 44 seconds off the clock, and they march it right down the field.
Great job by Zeke keeping that on the fake, coming around.
believe that might have been his first official carry of the night.
He had one for a loss of 3 where Beanie got him, but still.
Great job of getting around the corner, and looks like they're going to line up for 2 here.
Try to answer what John Glenn did on its last touchdown. And this is more of what fans saw from Edwardsburg last year when they went for 2 a lot. Pagura throws, and it's intercepted. You can't score on this, so Brody King will just run out of bounds. But Edwardsburg extends its lead to 27-8 with 3:16 to go here in the first half. And John Glenn will finally get to touch the football in the second quarter as you watch the King pick right here.
Reminder that score by Edwardsburg, sponsored by Tony Godeski, Farm Bureau Insurance. Hey, respect, loyalty, pride, courage, integrity, and dedication. Those are the many ways officers at the St. Joe County Police are serving our community. If you are looking for a career change that can really make a difference, visit sjcpd.org to learn more.
We're in southwestern St. Joseph County tonight. We will be in the heart of it next week. Jackson Field in South Bend for a Northern Indiana Conference matchup, the first one of the year, as the Penn Kingsmen will face the Riley Wildcats. Both those teams starting last week. Penn with great offense from Kellen Watson, 4 touchdown runs, 3 touchdown passes. Riley's defense set a state record with 4 safeties in one game. Something will have to give when those two teams get together. Pregame show at 6:45, kickoff at 7 on your home for high school sports, Sports Michiana. A 27-8 Edwardsburg lead with 3:16 to go here in the first half. Coming up at halftime, don't forget we'll have our Tony Letcher Student Athletes of the Week, and we'll have some halftime highlights to show you from this one because there have been some explosive plays in this game. Carter Houseworth ready to put the boot to it. Houseworth spinning kick, taken by Aiden White back at the 12. The freshman trying to get to the outside. White turns the corner and gets up to about the 31-yard line. So the Falcons will have 3:08 and 2 timeouts remaining to try to go down the field and pull within 2 scores.
For more than 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping people find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. They're nationally known and locally run by an outstanding team that believes in supporting the Michiana community. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
In Michigan, Lakeshore leading Grand Haven 14-7 in the second quarter. Concord with a 14-13 lead on Jimtown. That's late in the first quarter. St. Joe with a lead on Fort Wayne South, 7-0 in the first quarter at Father Bly Field. That Penn-Mishawaka game should be starting momentarily. They had a long lightning delay at Steele Stadium. Here, 27-8 Edwardsburg, 3:08 to go first half. Braden Benwell at quarterback for John Glenn hands it off to Blake Wright, who bobbles it and then had reason to as he gets dough-popped on his way through.
Didn't look like he even had control of the ball all the way through that carry. He was kind of bobbling it the whole way. He's lucky he was even held onto the ball.
Brody Shimpa lays the lumber to him after a pickup of 2 yards on the play. It's been a tough sledding for Wright tonight. 7 carries, 17 yards, and Miles Cheaton hobbling off the field right now for John Glenn, one of their outstanding offensive linemen. Second and 8. Down to 2:28 to play, first half. Low snap. Benwell evading pressure. Going to try to run for it, and there's just too many Eddies around him. Grant Griffin twists him down at the 37-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and 5 from there.
Man, they put pressure on Benwell right from the snap. You can see right there, snap was a little low. He was on his feet. He was running before that ball even got to him out of the pocket.
That's been a problem for John Glenn the first couple of weeks. They've had some low, slow snaps, and that'll disrupt the timing of a play. 3rd and 5, 1:50 to go first half. Clock running. Edwardsburg out of timeouts. They can't stop it. Benwell wants to throw. Fires a slant. It's broken up nicely. Beautiful play by Carter Houseworth from the cornerback position, and that'll stop the clock with 1:39 to go first half and 4th down.
Great coverage there. Here you can see on the John Glenn School Corp replay. Pass right there on the money, but great coverage, wrapped around. Might have had a little bit of wrap with that right arm around the body, but nothing to call that here in high school football.
They were trying to get it to Anthony McGuigan, but instead it's 4th down. A.J. Lebelski with the wind at his back will come on to punt it away. Brody Shimpa, there you see him, deep for Edwardsburg. And it's a fake punt, and Edwardsburg's going to stop him on 4th down. So John Glenn tried to gamble with a fake punt there, but Walter Drews was stumbling with it from the very moment he got it, and the Eddies will take over on the Falcon 37.
Yeah, I don't think he got full control of that football, dropped it, and then ended up one of those where you go to reach for it and you kick it with your foot straight forward and right into the hands of the lineman for the Edwardsburg Eddies.
So Ron Brown's going to take his last time out right here with 1:35 to go before halftime, and Edwardsburg leading 27-8. He's going to try to rally the troops on defense. Edwardsburg has had 4 possessions tonight, and they have 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, they've just done a great job of really moving the ball in different ways, picking up first downs. They had 3 4th downs in the last series before they converted the touchdown. Just to get a great job of running a lot of clock that last drive as well. Here, of course, only 1:35 in possession before halftime, so they have to move it a little bit faster on this series.
Halftime, and Logansport leads John Adams by a count of 14-0. Concord leads Jimtown 21-13. That game now in the second quarter. Northridge and Elkhart have just started after a long lightning delay at Rice Field. Wawasee and West Noble won't start until about 8:25 over in Ligonier. Grant Griffin with the carry this time, and Griffin able to pick up 4 yards. Remember, Edwardsburg is out of timeouts, so they'll have to go into a hurry-up offense here. Griffin now with 5 carries, 86 yards. We're down to 1:17 and counting here in the first half. 2nd and 6 from the Glen 33. The pitch back, and it's Carson Sebra on the carry this time, and he's about a yard short of the first down marker.
Eddie's getting the play in pretty quick to Zeke. Zeke really getting up line of scrimmage. That last time, Glenn D-line was still getting set when he snapped the ball.
52 seconds and counting here in the first half. We'll keep you posted on the time. Pagura hands it off. Sebra did not get the first down. They'll have to line up quickly again on 4th down. 4th and 1. Down to 37 seconds and counting. Pagura gets the play from the sidelines and has to run to the huddle. Now 25 seconds left, first half. Pagura lines up under center with 19 seconds. Pagura gives it to the last man through. That's Sebra, and Sebra has the first down. The clock will stop as they move the chains up to the 24-yard line, and they want to spike the football here. 10.2 seconds remain in the first half. Clock stops as they spike the ball with 9.4 seconds remaining before halftime, and Carter Houseworth and the field goal unit will come on. Houseworth, 2 years ago against Vicksburg, kicked a 42-yard field goal to win the game. He'll be kicking into the win this time, and this would be an attempt of exactly 40 yards. Joe Lundgren is the holder with 9.4 seconds remaining here in the first half. And the official wants to put some time on the clock. But we're not sure how much time.
There was 10:02 before they started the last play and stopped the clock.
Now the clock is winding.
Why are they winding the clock on
after an incomplete pass? Here's the snap. The set down. Houseworth's kick is spinning, but it is no good. It'll land in the end zone. And John Glenn and Edwardsburg have come to the end of the first half here at Hostrosser Field in Walkerton, with the Edwardsburg Eddies on top of John Glenn by a count of 27-8. Falcons are headed off to the locker room. And there goes Edwardsburg heading that way. Momentarily, we'll send it down to Angelo Carlo for a sideline report as he'll catch up with Dan Purley in just a moment. And there, Anj has him. Let's go down to Anj for a sideline report.
All right, Dan, great first half for you guys. Great start to the season. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought we came out strong. I think I feel like we kind of wore down a little bit there in the second half. But overall, I'm pleased. We'll make some adjustments and, much needed halftime to kind of recover a little bit. And but we'll be ready to go in the second half. And, we got to keep bringing it. John Glenn's, they got better as the game went on. So.
Is that the biggest thing right now, the endurance factor, the coming off the long week, first game and all that? Because it did seem like you guys, once you had to do a longer drive, it was harder to sustain.
Yeah. I felt like our guys kind of wore down a little bit there at the end of that second quarter. So we'll regroup here. We got to be ready to go in the second half because John Glenn is playing tough right now.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's Dan Purley, head coach of Edwardsburg, as they lead 27-8. Chuck and Bo, back up to you upstairs.
All right, stick around, everybody. A lot to talk about during our halftime report from the St. Joseph County Police Department. It will also feature our Tony Letcher, Health Market student athletes, and they'll come your way next. Edwardsburg leads John Glenn 27-8. You're watching the Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week.
Why do our auto insurance rates keep going up? Oh.
Dramatic increases in parts, labor, and medical care are causing auto insurance rates to soar nationwide. Lilliard's Insurance can protect you from auto rate increases with our available rate lock feature. And because Lilliard's Insurance is a local business, you get better service and deal with actual people. Hi, I'm Matt Lilliard. Call or text us today to see if you qualify.
Shopping for tires used to be like pulling teeth. That was before I went to TireRack.com. TireRack's Tire Decision Guide made it easy to drill down to the right tires for me.
What?
Oh, I got a great deal. My tires shipped fast and free and arrived the next day. I even got 2 years of free road hazard protection.
What?
You're darn right, wow. Next time your tires get long in the tooth, visit TireRack.com.
TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
In need of an award? Call Crown Trophy of Mishawaka, the area's premier award provider. They've been serving the area since 2001 with cutting-edge exclusive products, personalized with state-of-the-art laser engraving technology. And Crown Trophy has more than just trophies. They offer corporate, sales, and retirement awards, along with personalized gifts and promotional products. Crown Trophy, nationally known, locally owned, where everyone's a winner.
Time now.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday night. To pure
Glenn, Carson Sebra from Edwardsburg. We'll start with Carson, who not only a member of the football team, also participates in track and field, ranked 15th in the senior class with a 3.96 GPA. He's also captain of the football team. How do you pull it all off?
I don't know, just hard work and focusing my time on school and then sports.
Tell us a little bit of how you do that.
I set like a regimen, like schedules, like once I get home from practice, I'll go immediately to my homework, do it all, make sure it's all done, and that's about it.
You're a church and youth group volunteer. What does that mean to you, and what do you do there?
I just like help giving back to the community, with football. After our games on Saturdays, we always have this morning where we help little youth kids. And at the church, I help this old lady, my old neighbor. I help her with the church.
All right, you're planning on going to IU and major in business. Why IU? Why business?
I just like IU. I'm from Indiana, and my brother, has a major in business, and he says good.
All right, how has Edwardsburg prepared you for the future?
They've helped me with dual enrollment. Like right now, I'm taking classes at IUSB, which will help transfer to IU. So they're just helping me with all educational ways.
Carson, thank you very much. Congratulations. That's Carson Sebro. We turn now to Aiden Smogelski, Glenn Sr., who plays football, is also a wrestler, has a 3.6 GPA. How do you make it all work?
Go home, got to do your homework, right? You got to do that. Keep your GPA up. My parents are always harping on me, do my homework, make sure I'm doing good on tests, study, all that kind of stuff. It's hard with football, too. You got practice. You want to go home. You just want to go to bed, but it's late nights.
You're part of building trades. We heard about that last week with one of our student athletes last week. Tell us a little bit about it and why you're involved in it.
I love building things. Since I was little, I used to have these little building blocks. I would build stuff with those. It's just always caught my eye to be someone in construction. And our building trades, it's amazing. Everyone that goes there, we all work together really well. We got our house up. It's really nice.
What's the future hold for you?
Most likely construction. Most likely going into trades. I've got connections in that, and it'll probably be the way it goes.
What does being a John Glenn Falcon mean to you?
Oh, it means everything. I mean, just to say, I'm a Falcon, it means a lot. It means there's a lot on my shoulders. Got a lot of good people here. We got QB Brayton Benwell. We had Chase Miller last year. Everyone knows Chase. And it's just great.
Aiden, thank you very much. Congratulations. Carson, congratulations again. Two great student athletes here representing Edwardsburg and Glenn. We've got more of your Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week right after this.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
Are you tired of auto service from big box stores and new car dealers? 45 years ago, my parents, Bud and Diane, founded Zolman's with a strong commitment to the community. Today, Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care is still family owned and operated with over 150 employees and families. And we offer a price match guarantee on any tires from any local dealer, while providing complete auto service on all makes and all models, serving you and your family for 3 generations. Buy local, shop local. Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care.
Founded in 2001 by brothers Sam and Levi, Reliance has built a reputation for excellence, providing high-quality home building and renovation services to the Michiana area. From single-room renovations like kitchens and bathrooms to building your dream home from the ground up, everything benefits from their decades of experience. From concept to completion, Reliance makes even the largest projects simple and hassle-free. To find out more, visit RelianceDBR.net. Reliance. Design, build, renovate.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, putting people over profits. We welcome you inside the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union broadcast booth as the Falcon Pride entertains the crowd here at Host Rosser Field at halftime. 27-8, Edwardsburg on top of John Glenn. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hundt high above the fray. Glad you could be with us tonight on Sports Michiana. And we talked before the game, Bo, about both these teams said we're going to be more physical than the other. Only one of them's right, and it's Edwardsburg.
Edwardsburg been the more physical team from the start of the game. Offensive line, running backs, defensive line, they've just been a more physical team. We didn't know what to expect. They haven't played a game yet. Coming in tonight, they look like a well-oiled machine.
Let's show you how it got to be this way here in Walkerton on the very first possession it had this year. Edwardsburg got on the scoreboard. Carson Sebro was able to take a handoff And as you'll see in our halftime highlights, he's rumbling that time. 35 yards for the touchdown. Edwardsburg was able to take a 7-0 lead. They were up 14-0 when this play occurred, as it's Grady Ostrander getting ahead of everybody, and Ostrander would take it to the house 76 yards for the touchdown, 21-0 Edwardsburg. But in the late stages of the first quarter, back comes John Glenn. Brady Benwell going up top. He finds Brody King for a big 33-yard strike deep into Eddie territory. Final play of the first quarter. It'll be Benwell himself just running around trying to make something happen. Takes it in from 1 yard out. 21-8. All John Glenn needed was a stop to get back, but they couldn't get one on an 8.5-minute march. Zeke Pagura cashes in the drive with a 6-yard touchdown run on 4th and goal. Edwardsburg with 260 yards rushing in the first half, 299 total offense compared to 61 rushing yards and 52 passing yards for John Glenn. That's the story.
Yeah, the first quarter, a lot of scoring, 4 touchdowns in that first quarter. Second quarter, only one by Edwardsburg because they held the ball such a long period of time, converted 3 4th downs on that drive. So I think the biggest thing is John Glenn made some adjustments on defense and see if they can make some more here in the second half.
Now, it's football season, but both these schools have new basketball coaches this year. The one from John Glenn is standing by now with Angelo DiCarlo. Ange?
Chuck, thank you very much. John DuPont, the new head coach at John Glenn. First of all, let's start there. Just the excitement of taking over a program. You've been on staff for a long time, but taking over this John Glenn basketball program, what does this mean to you?
Oh, it's an awesome experience. It's been an awesome experience so far. Just an honor. I mean, when you're talking about John Glenn, you're talking about a school that's had 2 coaches in almost 40 years. And being that next guy up to be able to take over a program with such a good history, such good kids, and an administration that really supports athletics here at John Glenn, it's awesome.
How much does it help that you were on the staff for the last 7 years, that it can kind of be a seamless transition from Travis Hanna to now you taking over?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. And being able to learn under Coach Hanna for the last 7 years, just the way that he does things, the meticulous nature that he goes through practicing and then game time prep and stuff like that, just being able to learn from that is huge.
But at the same time, now he's set a standard for you guys after the way the last 2 years have gone in particular. Does that put added pressure or added excitement around the program as you take over?
Well, I'm going to say it's a little bit of both, but it's more excitement. And the thing is, and he told me this when he left, and I 100% agree with him, my job is not to replace him. My job is not to be Coach Hanna. My job is to be Coach DuPont, coach this team the way that we see fit going forward and stuff like that. Not going to change much, not going to reinvent the wheel. Things that he's done for the last 16 years here at John Glenn is the way things should be done. So we're just going to continue that, and there's a bunch of excitement building into this year.
1998 New Prairie grad. Take us through just your journey a little bit to get to this point.
My journey's a little bit different than most. A lot of people become a teacher and then they become coaches. I went to the Army, did 6 years there. I've been a state trooper for 19 years now. And 8 years ago, I was sitting on a boat, and our athletic director here at John Glenn put out a Facebook post saying they needed a freshman coach. Talked to my wife, decided I was going to do it for 1 year, and here we are 7.5 years later, about to enter my 8th year here at John Glenn, and I couldn't be more happy. This is a dream for me. This is awesome.
That is an unbelievable story. So I imagine you never envisioned anything like this.
Coaching was never one of those things on my to-do list. It was, I love basketball. I'm a basketball nut. I love watching college basketball, and to be able to come out here and do this. I coached freshmen, like I said, 7 years ago. Coach Hanna and I kind of hit it off. I fell in love with John Glenn. I fell in love with the community, and the way Coach Hanna ran this program, it was just a natural transition for me just to kind of take over and try to continue that.
John, thank you very much.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, guys.
John DuPont, new head coach for the boys basketball team here at John Glenn, as Edwardsburg leads Glenn 27-8 here at halftime. We've got more of the Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week right after this.
Winning ticket number 267170. That is your ticket. Please come to the press box.
Just graduated high school and now wondering what's next? Ready to start making a difference? Now is your chance. The St. Joe County Police Department Correctional Officer's starting pay is $50,000. Working in the jail can teach you life skills that you can use as a correctional or police officer. Benefits include vacation, medical, dental, and vision. For more information, call Sergeant Kylie Williams at 574-245-6263 or apply at sjcpd.org.
Why do our auto insurance rates keep going up? Oh.
Dramatic increases in parts, labor, and medical care are causing auto insurance rates to soar nationwide. Lilliard's Insurance can protect you from auto rate increases with our available rate lock feature. And because Lilliard's Insurance is a local business, you get better service and deal with actual people. Hi, I'm Matt Lilliard. Call or text us today to see if you qualify.
Shopping for tires used to be like pulling teeth. That was before I went to TireRack.com. TireRack's tire decision guide made it easy to drill down to the right tires for me.
What?
Oh, I got a great deal. My tires shipped fast and free and arrived the next day. I even got 2 years of free road hazard protection.
Where?
You're darn right, wow. Next time your tires get long in the tooth, visit TireRack.com.
TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Your garage door keeps your home, family, and valuables safe and secure. Make sure it always looks good and works well. Precision Garage Door is your one-stop shop for design, installation, and repairs. Count on us to help you choose the right materials, style, and color for your new door. And when you need repairs, we're ready. Our friendly trained technicians work around your schedule and are available 24/7 for emergency repairs. Call your local Precision Garage Door today.
Garage doors done right.
For over 100 years, experience and inspiration have been the foundation of Big C Lumber. I'm Mark Young. Deciding on the perfect cabinetry for your home can be overwhelming. It's best to depend on our consultants with decades of experience at Big C Lumber. Your needs and wishes will be matched with our guidance in the creation of new spaces. We call this customer-inspired design, representing your personality, your style. Visit Big C Lumber, where the possibilities are endless.
In 1969, America celebrated men landing on the moon. Now the USA is trying to return, and Imagineering Finishing Technologies in South Bend is helping pave the way. IFT is providing paint, chemical conversion coatings, and non-destructive testing services for NASA's Space Launch System and Orion spacecraft, which will deliver astronauts to the moon and possibly Mars. Help make it happen by joining the Imagineering Finishing Technologies team at iftww.com/careers.
Your car carries precious cargo. It needs to be dependable, rain or shine. Let Tom's Car Care Center in South Bend help take the stress out of your car's maintenance. We'll change your oil in 10 minutes, flush your transmission, replace your wiper blades, and much more. Oil changes include a half-price car wash when needed. Welcome to your extended family, Tom's Car Care Center.
Brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. Chuck Freeby, Bo Hundt, Angelo, Carlo with you on Sports Michiana. Glad you've joined us on Facebook or YouTube. Our thanks to the folks piloting the WSBT Facebook and YouTube pages. You see Ange down on the sidelines. What kind of update can you give us from both teams?
Yeah, first of all, Gabe Goodsell out for the game now. Had some tingleness. They're going to take him to the hospital, get him evaluated, and we'll keep him in our prayers, the John Glenn Jr. player who was injured at the end of the half. As for the game itself, Coach said, Ron Brown said they got to just sustain the drives, obviously, and more importantly, they just have to gut it out more. One of the big keys was certainly Edwardsburg getting those 3 big plays. They got to be able to stop them. They have to be tougher, and if they can do so, they can stay in this game and maybe get back into the game. Those are the keys, he said, for the second half. Chuck and Bo, back up to you.
All right, thank you, Ange. Let me get you updated on some other scores from around the area. Lowell with a 7-6 lead on LaPorte. That's in the first quarter. Mishawaka has taken a 6-0 lead on Penn. That is in the first quarter. Caveman scored on their opening possession with a very time-consuming drive. Then you've got St. Joe from Indiana leading Fort Wayne South 7-6. Meanwhile, up in Michigan, St. Joe leads Niles at halftime by a count of 14-7. New Prairie with a 7-0 lead on Goshen. That's in the first quarter. They had a rain delay there. Northwood now with a 7-0 lead on Portage in the first quarter. They had a rain delay at Andrews Field as well. Winnemac and Frontier was postponed tonight because of lightning. North Judson leads LaVille. That's 16-0 Blue Jays in the second. Also in the second, Bremen leads Triton at Dom Bungie Field by a count of 7-0. And we gave you the Lakeshore leading at halftime against Grand Haven, 14-7 up in Michigan. And one more score to give you. Logansport still on top of John Adams in South Bend, 14-0. That game is now in the third quarter. We're just about ready to start the third quarter here at Hostrosser Field in Walkerton. Edwardsburg leading John Glenn 27-8. Oscar Villa will put it into play for the John Glenn Falcons. Brody Shimpa is back deep along with Joe Lundgren, and it is Lundgren from his 13. Lundgren with a great block in front of him takes it all the way up to the 42-yard line. What a job by the Edwardsburg special teams of blocking.
Yeah, just a great job blocking, opening up a huge hole up the middle. Great field position for the Eddies here to start the second half.
And Edwardsburg, as we mentioned at halftime, 260 rushing yards in the first half. Novak was over 100. However, Grant Griffin led the way with 86, and Grady Ostrander had 84. Both of them had long touchdown runs, Griffin for 75, Ostrander for 66. 1st and 10 from its own 43 for the Eddies. Pagura under center. And it's Pagura, play action going deep. Grant Griffin, he's all alone. Touchdown, Edwardsburg. 58 yards, no flags.
Tony Gadeski, Farm Bureau Insurance, located in Edwardsburg, and offers a wide variety of insurance, including life, home, auto, business, and farm insurance. You can contact Tony Gadeski, Farm Bureau Insurance, at 269-663-8445. Go Eddies. They're our scoring sponsor for the Eddies.
Tony Gadeski sponsors the scoring. A.J. Gadeski, the baseball coach. Grant Griffin, a baseball player, and he's got 2 home runs here tonight, 1 running and 1 receiving. Carter Houseworth on to try the extra point out of the hold of Lundgren. Kick and snap are up and good. We have played a whole 16 seconds in quarter number 3. And Edwardsburg expands the lead to 34-8. Man, this is a fun offense to watch when it's clicking.
Wow, I tell you what, the ability to throw the ball downfield with touch is just great by Zeke Pagura. A great job of just floating that ball out there. You don't see that a lot with quarterbacks that run like this.
I'm glad you mentioned that because Pagura last year, quite frankly, was not a good thrower of the football. 11 of 29, 1 interception. He did have 4 touchdowns, but only threw for 172 yards. And he said to me this week, I asked, where have you improved the most? He said, the passing game. I understand it now. I understand what I need to do to throw the football. He hasn't had to thread the needle on passes tonight, but he has hit receivers in stride, allowing them to make big plays. He's 3 for 3 for 92 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, and yes, they are wide open, but they're 20 yards downfield most of the time. And those touch passes, you got to throw them over the top of the linebackers or the safety, whichever has bid up on those plays. And the ability to put the touch to get over those guys and not overthrow your receivers, it takes some talent to do that.
And now with Edwardsburg making improvement, I talked to Scott Shaw, the Niles coach, earlier this summer, and I asked him to evaluate the Wolverine Conference, and he said, well, I think, again, it's Niles, Paw Paw, and Edwardsburg. But Niles struggling a little bit tonight out of the gate against St. Joe. Granted, they're missing Paul Hess, their all-state running back, and that's huge. But they've got a new quarterback. Edwardsburg is playing with such confidence right now. I could see the Eddies and the Vikings again colliding for the Wolverine Conference title in October. Kickoff taken by Brody King back at his 10. He's been pretty good on these tonight, but this time Edwardsburg's able to stop him at the 25-yard line.
We'll see what kind of adjustments John Glenn offense made. at halftime coming in here on their first drive here in the second half. Be interesting if they go to that spread. Now they're being down 34-8 at this point. I mean, you're almost at that point where it's catch-up time, where you start to have to open it up. But once you do that, and then you turn over 3 and out or something like that,
it can get away from you in a hurry.
Get away from you in a hurry, especially with a team explosive as these Eddies are.
So Brett Badek will try to settle down his offense here. Remember, they're playing without Gabe Goodsell, who left the game with a neck injury, and as Anj mentioned, is on his way to the hospital. Blake Wright will be the running back behind the junior quarterback Braden Benwell, the three-sport athlete. And Benwell on play action eludes the rush, throws down the field, and it's almost intercepted. Shimpa tried for the one-hand grab, couldn't quite make it. They were looking for Austin Pranger, but it was too high for him.
Here you can see the John Glenn School Corp replay. You're getting it downfield. Shimpa almost trying to do the tip drill to himself. Couldn't come up with the interception. Great breakup for this Eddies defense here on first down.
Benwell now 3 of 7 for 52 yards tonight. A couple of score updates. Concord now leading Jimtown 28-13 late second quarter. Elkhart and Northridge are scoreless going to the second quarter.
Elkhart fully healthy this week and fully functional, I should say, with the roster.
We'll talk about that after this play as Benwell has to get rid of it, but he finds Blake Wright out in the flat. Problem is Wright has nowhere to go, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage. In case you missed it last night on our social media feed, the IHSAA finally approved. They overturned their own denial of a transfer of 2 players from Mishawaka to Elkhart, Novell Miller and Carmine Orozco. Miller, the top running back for the Cavemen last year. Orozco, Division I recruit. Trevon Curry expects both of them to play a significant role in the Elkhart lineup this season. 3rd down and 9. And the handoff to Blake Wright. He tries to cut inside, but there's 5 Eddies around him at the line of scrimmage. And the Edwardsburg defense posts a 3 and out on their first possession of the third quarter.
Thank you to Tony Letcher for his incredible support of Sports Michiana. Tony is a licensed insurance agent with Health Markets. If you're looking for assistance with Medicare, family, or individual health insurance, Google Tony Letcher Health Markets or visit tletcher.com.
A.J. Lubelski lines up in punt formation for Glenn. Brody Shimpa back at his own 32 to await the boot. It's a line drive kick. Shimpa will get away from it. And he had it perfectly positioned because it rolls dead at the 32-yard line, and that's where Edwardsburg will have it with 9:58 to go in the third quarter, and the Eddies up 34-8.
North Liberty-based O'Connor Delivery Service has been delivering products across the country for 17 years for the commercial industry. Owners Jeff and Tracy O'Connor are cheering on the Falcons. O'Connor Delivery Service, let us worry about all your delivery needs.
Mishawaka still on top of Penn, 6-0. That game still in the first quarter. Up in Michigan, Lakeshore leading Grand Haven 21-14. That game now in the third. 1st and 10 for Zeke Pagura and the Eddies at their own 32, and it's Carson Sebra carrying the ball upfield for 5 yards. Sebra, a familiar name to some in Indiana because his daddy Jim was a pretty good athlete at Elkhart Memorial. In fact, he was the Bringle Award winner during his senior year with the Crimson Chargers, the Bringle Award given to the outstanding male athlete in the city of Elkhart. Somehow, I never received that award.
I thought I saw one on your shelf the other day.
No. That might have been Jerry Eckel or Richard Delks or
borrowing it from him.
Somebody playing at Ball State. Yeah, here's Brody Shimpa on the carry going forward to the 40-yard line.
Brody Shimpa on the carry for Edwardsburg.
No, they have me MC the Bringle Award, so
there
I've
you go.
given away a lot of Bringle Awards. I just haven't received any.
I saw one in your hands a couple of different times, and that must have been what it was.
Yeah. 3rd and 2 for Pagura and the Eddies.
Eddies looking to burn some clock here on this drive, really take some time off and not let John Glenn have any time to get back into this game.
The wing tee has been extremely prolific tonight. It's Grant Griffin on the carry, and he is met hard by A.J. Lebelski and a lot of John Glenn Falcons. Austin Pranger in on the hit. Good defensive set that time for the Falcons. 4th and 2 for Edwardsburg, and no doubt they'll go for it here.
Well, this is a key situation right here. I mean, if John Glenn can stop them here, they'll get excellent field position. Again, you got to watch the crossbuck, the counteraction play, watch backside, watch the fakes here.
So much to watch. That's the problem with this offense. 8:05 to go, 3rd quarter. And it's Sebra up the middle. He's got the first down. A pickup of 5 for Carson Sebra. 7 carries, 56 yards tonight for the Eddy running back.
Big shout out to Bourbon Street Pizza. We'd like to thank them for feeding our crew tonight with some fantastic pizzas. They have 8 locations throughout Michiana, including right here in Walkerton on Roosevelt Road. They offer dine-in, takeout, and delivery. Go Falcons and go Bourbon Street Pizza.
The 2nd and 3rd quarter have been pure wing tee for Edwardsburg. They've just been able to grind out drives. Here's Noah Jacobs with a pickup of 1 on the play. Jacobs, a speedy long jumper from the track team, 5'9", 180-pound junior. But last year, Edwardsburg really got banged up during the season, and it showed by the time we saw them down at Niles. They've had a couple injuries in preseason camp along their offensive line, but you mentioned early on the waves that they can come at you with running backs.
I think that's the biggest thing is their depth this year is a lot stronger. When they've gotten to the 2nd or the 3rd guy, they had some troubles last year. This year, they get to their 2nd, 3rd, or even 4th guy, and they're fantastic.
2nd and 9, and the handoff up the middle is going to go for a loss of 1 and set up a 3rd and 10 here. I believe it was Ostrander on the carry that time.
Grady Ostrander on the carry.
So 3rd down and 10. Of course, the Eddies 3 out of 3 passing tonight with Pagura for 92 yards. Does he air it out here?
Well, that might be the situation where they don't wait till 4th down to air it out. Try to catch him off guard here on 3rd down. Hit that running back Shimpa out of the backfield.
Pagura. Well, they just did tackle everybody. There's the execution of the game plan that Ron Brown was looking for. Just tackle everybody in the backfield. And Shimpa was the one carrying it that time for a loss of 3.
The John Glenn School Corporation is proud to be recognized by the Indiana Department of Education for achieving back-to-back 100% graduation rate. John Glenn continues to pursue excellence in the entire education experience for our students and community.
For the first time tonight, and for the first time this season, the Edwardsburg Eddies will punt the ball. Carter Houseworth will do the honors. That's Brody King, who's had a pretty decent night in the return game. Bad snap, handled well by Houseworth, and he gets off a great kick. King will let it roll out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It nearly hit Chris Skibby, our field cameraman, but first of all, Skibbs is a very agile man.
Anj with the football there. Can we see you run with it?
No, come on, Anj. Throw the ball.
The Ann Cole Training Center offers horseback riding lessons for all ages. Your horse or their horse, the Ann Cole Training Center provides a heated indoor arena, horse training, and boarding. They're located just 5 minutes from Edwardsburg High School on Conrad Road. Learn more at AnnColeHorses.com and go Eddies.
Mishawaka extends its lead to 12-0 on Penn early 2nd quarter. Michigan City and Lafayette Jeff are scoreless after 1. Here, 34-8 Edwardsburg with 5:41 to go in the 3rd quarter. Braden Benwell and John Glenn trying to come back in this one. after winning their season opener last week against Boone Grove. It's Benwell on a sweep around the right side, but there's nowhere to go, and a flag comes out on this one. I think it'll be a face mask against Edwardsburg.
Yeah, it looked like Benwell got to the outside, and when he did, the lineman reached around to try to grab him, went off his shoulder pad, and actually hit the face mask. Here you can see the John Glenn School Corp replay. Benwell getting to the outside. Right, it looked like he got the shoulder blade there, but that's where they grabbed a hold of the helmet right there. Flag came out.
So it'll be a 15-yard walk-off and a first down for Glenn up at their own 37-yard line. You see our sponsors rolling across there, and you see our TireRack.com scoreboard. Thanks to the staff at Tire Rack for once again stepping up and supporting us here at Sports Michiana. So great to have the support of so many sponsors in our community. You know, we didn't have a whole lot of notice to give them because, well, quite frankly, we weren't given a whole lot of notice, but they have stepped up and helped high school sports thrive here on Sports Michiana. We've got a timeout called by John Glenn. 5:33 to go in the third. 34-8 Edwardsburg on Sports Michiana.
Founded in 2001 by brothers Sam and Levi, Reliance has built a reputation for excellence, providing high-quality home building and renovation services to the Michiana area. From single-room renovations like kitchens and bathrooms to building your dream home from the ground up, everything benefits from their decades of experience. From concept to completion, Reliance makes even the largest projects simple and hassle-free. To find out more, visit RelianceDBR.net. Reliance. Design, build, renovate.
Your car carries precious cargo. It needs to be dependable, rain or shine. Let Tom's Car Care Center in South Bend help take the stress out of your car's maintenance. We'll change your oil in 10 minutes, flush your transmission, replace your wiper blades, and much more. Oil changes include a half-price car wash when needed. Well, sir.
Hostrosser Field, the side of this one in Walkerton, 34-8, Edwardsburg leading John Glenn. New quarterback in the game for the Falcons, and the ball thrown away. So the Falcons going with Austin Pranger at quarterback on this series, and it looks like he got banged up right away. So Brady Benwell's going to have to come back in.
Pressure right up the middle all night by these Eddies D-line, and the linebackers just blitzing, coming up and unblocked, and really putting pressure on the Benwell and the Glenn quarterbacks.
West Noble leading Wawasee 14-0 in the first quarter. Marion and Culver Academies got stormed out. They'll try again tomorrow morning at 11:30. 5:31 to go, third quarter. Benwell on 2nd and 10. Throws high in the flat, and it's incomplete.
Very close to being a lateral pass there.
Zebra came over with some terrific defensive pressure and laid one into the midsection of A.J. Lebelski.
Hey, you upgrading your window treatments? Don't DIY it. Call Quality Window Treatments with free in-person consultations, design help, and local installations. There's no guesswork required. Visit QualityWindowTreatment.com and see your space in a whole new light.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 for John Glenn. Walter Drews now joining Benwell in the backfield. Another low, slow snap. Benwell running for his life, and he can't get away. Oscar Morris comes in and gets the sack for the Eddies all the way back at the 25, a loss of 12 on the play.
Again, the pressure up the middle, but as you said, just a low snap. Benwell wasn't able to get the ball. Here you can see the snap, just low to the ground, wasn't able to secure it, takes that time away, and the pressure got to him.
The snaps have been a problem tonight. Warren Central leads Warsaw 14-0 at the half. North Judson on top of LaVille 16-0 at the half. A.J. Lebelski lines up in punt formation with 4:42 and counting here in the third quarter. And false start will be thrown on John Glenn. First penalty whistled against the Falcons tonight.
Again, another one of those situations where quicksand happens. It tends to keep happening, and you keep falling and get that big sack, get that 4th and 20, and now you're at 4th and 27.
Glenn will have an interesting opponent next week. They play Fort Wayne Blackhawk Christian. Would be a heck of a basketball game. Here's a snap over the head of Lubelski. He tries to punt it away and does. And Rudolph trying to get away from it. It takes an Edwardsburg roll, and it'll go down at the 34-yard line. That winds up being a 14-yard punt. And Lubelski comes up ginger on the play.
Here, I see an interesting replay here from the John Glenn School Court. It looked as almost the Eddies didn't want to touch him because they thought they would get roughing the punter on that, where they could have just, once that ball hits the ground, you can actually tackle him and touch him.
Well, I think Lubelski might be cramping up, which not a good thing for a punter, and as soon as he kicked the ball, he was grabbing at his quad. So Edwardsburg with terrific field position at the John Glenn 33, already up 34-8, 4:26 to go third quarter. Pagura keeps it himself on the bootleg, and Pagura submarined at the 31-yard line. The King brothers, Brody and Drew, bring him down, and Pagura is hurt at the 31 and writhing in pain.
His knee bent back on that hit. It looked funny from up here, but we're quite a distance away, and I thought maybe it was just an illusion, but him staying down there, he is in some severe pain.
So we are going to take a break and cut away from Zeke Pagura, not showing this injury, and back with more on Sports Michiana after this timeout.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Ledger, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Ledger today to schedule your free consultation or visit tledger.com.
Your garage door keeps your home, family, and valuables safe and secure. Make sure it always looks good and works well. Precision Garage Door is your one-stop shop for design, installation, and repairs. Count on us to help you choose the right materials, style, and color for your new door. And when you need repairs, we're ready. Our friendly, trained technicians work around your schedule and are available 24/7 for emergency repairs. Call your local Precision Garage Door today.
Garage doors done right.
We found out about Notre Dame Federal Credit Union through a friend. We were nervous about growing interest rates, but Notre Dame Federal Credit Union communicated the entire way through that process and made us feel like we made a good move. Finding a house was the tricky part, but securing financing and going through the purchase process with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, that was the easy part. That was simple. We would highly recommend working with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. The customer service is amazing.
Shopping for tires used to really grind my gears. So many tires, and the thought of choosing the right one made me, Precisely. That's before I went to TireRack.com. I got the best deal hands down. My tires ship fast and free, arrive the next day like clockwork. Tire Rack even gave me 2 years of free road hazard protection. Precisely.
TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
In need of an award? Call Crown Trophy of Mishawaka, the area's premier award provider. They've been serving the area since 2001 with cutting-edge exclusive products, personalized with state-of-the-art laser engraving technology. And Crown Trophy has more than just trophies. Sales and retirement awards.
Jeez. Hostrasser Field, Edwardsburg leading 34-8. Zeke Pagura, the Edwardsburg quarterback, carried off the field after appearing to take a helmet to his kneecap. And so it'll be Joe Lundgren taking over at quarterback here for the Edwardsburg Eddies. Lundgren, a 5'9", 165-pound senior. I watched him take snaps the other day at practice, and Dan Purley has been preparing him for these just-in-case moments. They were hoping it wouldn't come this early in the season.
Yeah, we talked about some injuries they had last year as well, and this is just one they're going to have to overcome here. Fortunately, they're up big in this game, and even bigger.
Carson Sebra takes it on in the end zone for an Edwardsburg touchdown. Sebra comes right up the middle on a 32-yard touchdown run, his second of the night. And with 4:18 to go in the third, it's now a 40-8 Edwardsburg lead.
That scoring sponsored by Tony Godeski, Farm Bureau Insurance.
Sebra now 8 carries for 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. The 3 leading carriers for Edwardsburg go 87, 86, and 84. Tremendous balance for Dan Purley's squad tonight. Carter Houseworth is on to try the extra point, but we've got movement along the line of scrimmage before the snap.
Papa's Pizza in Edwardsburg is a proud supporter of the Eddies. They're open for lunch and dinner, and you've got to try the monster 20-inch pizza bread, and excellent breadsticks. And when you're done, grab some ice cream next door at Sensational Scoops.
Mishawaka laying the lumber right now to Penn. It is 20-0 in the first half at Steele Stadium. West Noble leads Wawasee 21-0. That game in the second quarter.
Really did not see that Mishawaka Penn being 20-0 at this point, with all the scoring that Penn threw up last week against a very talented Valpo team.
More movement along the line of scrimmage before the snap. This time I think it was John Glenn that jumped offside. And indeed, that's what the official will signal.
Penalty will be assessed against John Glenn.
So that'll move the ball a little bit closer for Houseworth to try the extra point. And in fact, it'll go back to the original line of scrimmage. Houseworth getting some good practice in right now. He's 2 for 2 on penalized extra points. The snap to Lundgren. The kick is on its way. This one is clean. It's up. It's good. 4:18 to go, third quarter. And Edwardsburg on top, 41-8.
Beef O'Brady's on 23 in Granger is hiring. Apply online or in person to join an awesome team. They are hiring for all positions. Beef O'Brady's, where game time meets family time.
Keep an eye on the other scores going on from around the area. Reminder, next Friday night, we're over at Jackson Field for NIC action as Penn takes on Riley. Before that game, you want to make sure you listen on Pulse FM 92.1, 96.9, 103.1 for the Tire Rack drive to the game. Anj and I will give you previews of some of the games, including that Penn-Riley game. We'll also break down all the games and make picks on games from around the area. Should be a fun one. It's the Tire Rack drive to the game, Friday nights at 6 p.m. on Pulse FM.
I didn't get a chance to go back. Who had more correct? Was that?
Anj came out of week 1 9-2. I was 7-4.
Okay, all right.
St. Joe leads Fort Wayne South 14-9. That's at the half at Father Bly Field in South Bend. Carter Houseworth with the kickoff here for Edwardsburg. Brody King from the 15. King slicing his way through the Eddies. King with a burst of speed, dives forward and goes down at the 49 of Edwardsburg. And King appears to be cramping right now.
Yeah, he looked like he went to make a cut right when he fell. Either twist the knee or cramped up, because he's holding both knees up in the air like his hammies.
So Brody King getting both legs worked on by the trainers right now. It was a very muggy week in Michiana, especially the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And trying to keep young people hydrated, easier said than done.
Well, that's the biggest thing is, they took a lot of time to understand the heat that we had this week, and they changed some practice times. Some went before school, some went later on in the evening, and some even went inside a little bit to get away from the heat. The problem is you get out here tonight, the humidity's still there, but you haven't been able to get a lot of that practice time in, and you lost some of that those body fluids throughout the week.
So Braden Benwell remains in the game to play quarterback for Glenn with 4:10 left here in the third quarter, and Edwardsburg up by 33. Falcons in Eddie territory. Look out, here comes a pass rush, and down goes Benwell in the backfield. Nick Walker on the sack. The senior gets him about 7 yards, 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Walker off the end there, just coming strong. You can see right there, he was in there before Benwell was even able to get outside the pocket. Just a fantastic job by this Eddie's defense tonight.
Walker, a 6'1", 210-pound senior. This is a John Glenn team that put 27 on the board in opening week. Moved the ball pretty well against Boone Grove, but they've had one good drive tonight against the Eddies. 2nd and 18. Another troublesome snap, and Benwell's going to go down in the backfield at the 32. Walker Carafa with the sack here, and now Edwardsburg is just loaded for bear.
Chips and Doodles is a family-owned and operated small-batch local bakery. Their delicious cookies are baked in a commercial kitchen and made with real vanilla and butter. Delivery is available, as is pickup, near downtown South Bend. Learn more at chipsanddoodles.com.
In Michigan, St. Joseph leads Niles 30-7 after 3 quarters. Andrew Prattley's team sending a message in the non-conference. St. Joe will go to Edwardsburg next week to take on the Eddies. That should be a dandy.
That will be a fantastic game between those two teams.
3rd and 28 for the Falcons. Benwell will keep it on the ground here, trying to get around the outside, but Shimpa is right there to level him for a loss of 2.
Just when the Falcons thought they might pick up some positive yardage here on this drive, 3 plays, 3 negative yardage plays.
Well, in fact, they've had a total of negative yardage in the third quarter. 2:06 to go in the stands, and again, Lubelski will have to kick it away. Shimpa, the deep man for Edwardsburg, and now the next Edwardsburg score would put us in a running clock situation.
Glenn missing players out here on the punt team.
Clean snap, Lubelski dropped it. And Edwardsburg has it back at the 21.
Wow, we talked about quicksand earlier here in this third quarter. This third quarter has been nothing but John Glenn just falling deeper and deeper down that hole. And when something goes wrong, it just keeps happening and happening and happening. Right there, just a good snap. Just one of those things, just dropped it and then could not pick it up.
So Lubelski, he's cramping up. He leaves the field. And Edwardsburg takes over at the 21 with 1:42 to go in the third. And as we mentioned, the next score for the Eddies puts us in a running clock situation. And Edwardsburg staying in the wing tee. Remember, it's the backup quarterback, Joe Lundgren, after the injury to Zeke Pagura. Lundgren hands off. It's Grant Griffin rumbling forward, and Griffin able to pick up about 5 on the play.
JBLS Septic and Excavation is proud to support the Eddies. They are the new option for septic and excavation needs in Southwest Michigan. JBLS Septic and Excavation offers prompt appointments and excellent customer service. JBLS Septic and Excavation, you dump, we pump.
2nd and 6. I don't know that we've given enough love to this Edwardsburg offensive line tonight. Alec Widman, Walker Carafa, Max Morris, Luke Harmon, and Luke Bidwell have done a marvelous job opening up holes with help from Oscar Morris and Nick Walker at the tight end slots. Lundgren hands off here. It'll be Noah Jacobs trying to get around the outside. Jacobs only able to get 2 on that play, but third down. The other thing is it's been uncanny, the ability of Edwardsburg to convert on 4th down tonight.
Yeah, they just done a fantastic job of sustaining drives. And when we talk about sustaining drives, what that's going to do with a team like this is they're going to take time off the clock and wear down the opponent's defense. Because when they're out there for this long of periods of time, they get worn down and worn down and worn down. Next thing you know, they bust one for a touchdown.
Play clock down to 10, about a 10-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. Lundgren, hands off, Brody Shimpa, big hole up the middle, touchdown, Edwardsburg. Shimpa takes it in from 16 yards out, and the route is on in Walkerton.
Wow. Again, great job by this offensive line. Shimpa reading the hole, getting up there in the end zone, sponsored by Tony Gadeski, Farm Bureau Insurance.
Carter Houseworth on to try the extra point with 9.6 seconds. Edwardsburg a man short on the extra point. They'll finally send somebody out, and this will result in a penalty, I would think, for 5 yards in illegal motion.
There comes the flag.
Penalty flag on the play.
It'll move Houseworth back 5 yards, and he continues to probably get more practice on extra points during this game than he did during the actual practices for Edwardsburg.
He did get 3 attempts in the last series, and here he's going to get his second one. They'll move it back a little bit. Hey, do you have joint or muscle pain that just won't go away? Try Elevate Wellness Solutions with evidence-based regenerative therapy techniques. Elevate will get you back in the game faster. Get to elevateatc.com to set up your appointment today.
So Houseworth will try again. As the Eddies try to make it a full 40-point lead here with 9.6 to go in the third. Kick is up, and it is good.
Extra point is good.
And there you have it, 48-8, Edwardsburg up with 9 seconds to go here in the third quarter. After the kickoff, we will have a running clock.
Of course, it only takes 9.6 to get to the end of the quarter, and then the fourth quarter will be a running clock experience all the way through.
Second quarter score, North Judson 16, LaVille 0.
But this is one of the big stories of the night, the resurgence of the Edwardsburg Eddies. Coming off that 5-5 season a year ago, you know, Edwardsburg has not had a losing season since 2009. Kevin Bartz, who you heard from earlier on the broadcast, doing a wonderful job restoring that program. But the other story of the night, and it remains to be seen if Penn comes back in that game, would be Mishawaka laying the lumber to Penn. Right now, that's a 20-0 Caveman lead in the second quarter.
And the numbers that Penn put up against a really good top-ranked Valpo team last week just shows you how good this Mishawaka team is.
But Penn starting the comeback. They're down 20-7 as Houseworth lays the boot to it. And the ball goes past Aiden White, but not far enough to go in the end zone. So White dancing around at his own 4. White with a burst of speed. Aiden White couldn't keep his feet and gets to the 31 as the third quarter comes to an end here at Hostrasser Field in Edwardsburg. And the visitors from the state of Michigan representing the Wolverine State well tonight. Edwardsburg leads John Glenn 48-8. You're watching high school football on Sports Michiana.
Shopping for tires used to really grind my gears. So many tires, and the thought of choosing the right one made me, precisely. That's before I went to TireRack.com. I got the best deal hands down. My tires ship fast and free, arrive the next day like clockwork. Tire Rack even gave me 2 years of free road hazard protection. Precisely.
Tire Rack.
In need of an award? Call Crown Trophy of Mishawaka, the area's premier award provider. They've been serving the area since 2001 with cutting-edge exclusive products, personalized with state-of-the-art laser engraving technology. And Crown Trophy has more than just trophies. They offer corporate, sales, and retirement awards, along with personalized gifts and promotional products. Crown Trophy, nationally known, locally owned, where everyone's a winner.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. Before the fourth quarter begins, let's go downstairs for a sideline report. Here's Angelo Carlo.
All right, Chuck, Zeke Pecura obviously out for the game here with a right leg injury. He has not been able to put any weight on that leg since coming out of the game. Initially, I think he tried as he stood up and then had to be carried off by coaches. He's had that leg wrapped on the sideline. He stayed on the bench the entire time in a little bit of pain. So our prayers are with Zeke that hopefully it's not as bad as it seems and he's able to be back out on the field with his team soon.
Meanwhile, Deacon Conroy takes over at quarterback for John Glenn. Conroy, a sophomore on this squad, 5'10", 150 pounds. He is the third quarterback used by the Falcons tonight.
Our replay sponsor, John Glenn School Corporation. Their John Glenn School's education experience is one of the best in the state. It is evidence of the hard work, determination, and no-excuse perspective embodied in the John Glenn community of students, staffs, and families.
We have whistles blown and flags thrown. A delay of game, I believe, called against John Glenn, trying to get the play in for Conroy, so that'll cost him 5 yards, and the clock continues to tick.
Sports Michiana apparel is courtesy of our friends at It's Tops in Mishawaka. Clothes, office supplies, tumblers. If you want to put your logo on something, odds are It's Tops can make it happen. Locally run since 1976, It's Tops gives you the personalized attention you deserve. Learn more at itstops.com or .net.
Terrific apparel available from It's Tops. And they also are the outfitter for Edwardsburg Athletics.
They've done a great job of supplying our gear for their first two nights in a quick turnaround for us. They look fantastic, feel fantastic.
10:07 to go in this one. 2nd and 13 for Deacon Conroy and the Falcons. Walter Drews is his running back. And it's Drews taking the handoff and getting wrapped up after a pickup of 1.
Walter Drews on the carry for the
Drews
Falcons.
had 12 carries last season. He's a 5'6", 140-pound senior. He also plays safety. We'll check in on some scores from some other games. We can tell you Lafayette Jeff leads Michigan City 3-0 the second. Halftime, Northwood on top of Portage 16-0. Dominic DeFreitas with 3 field goals in that one for Nate Andrews and the Panthers. New Prairie beating Goshen 42-0 in the second. Halftime at Rice Field, Northridge and Elkhart are scoreless. Conroy throws over the middle. There was nobody there except white jerseys. It's incomplete and 4th down.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies in South Bend is a longtime supporter of high school athletics. They're also helping NASA send astronauts back to the moon. Want to help? Learn more on joining the Imagineering Finishing Technologies team at iftww.com/careers.
It'll be 4th and 11 here for John Glenn, and they'll send out the backup punter because Lebelski's been hurting, so Blake Wright will have to kick it away. Been that kind of night for the Falcons. For backup punter, Wright does a pretty good job. That one into Edwardsburg territory. It'll be down at the 47, and the Eddies will take over with 8:24 and counting, leading 48-8.
Thank you to Lilliard Insurance Agency for all their work in helping Sports Michiana get to opening night. Real people, real service, real value. That's their slogan by Matt Lilliard and his teams. Also live it every single day. Visit realvalueins.com to get the personal touch you deserve. Matt Lilliard Insurance Agency.
One of the big differences between Michigan and Indiana is JV games for Michigan teams are played the day before the varsity game as opposed to the day after. So lots of times in these games you would already see guys coming in because, well, you know, you can take it out of their JV quarters the next day.
Yeah.
It depends how many quarters they played last night. You might not be able to go as deep on your bench in a varsity game tonight because you played the JV game last night. And you see a lot of the familiar numbers still in there right now for Edwardsburg. Lundgren at quarterback. He is going to hand it off, and the carry on the right side for about 4 yards to Noah Jacobs that time.
Notre Dame Federal Credit Union serves nonprofits, churches, and schools throughout the United States. They are the go-to people for nonprofit banking. You already share their values. Why not share their benefits? Head to NotreDameFCU.com/elevate to learn more.
2nd and 6 now for John Glenn with 6:50 and counting here in this one at Hostrasser Field. The Eddies last year were smoked by Grand Rapids Catholic Central in their opener, 56-16. It set a bad tone for the season. Well, they're the ones doing the smoking tonight, like ribs on the grill on Labor Day. And they pick up 5 here. It'll be 3rd and 1, and maybe this will set the tone for the Edwardsburg season as Evan Strong gets the carry that time for the Eddies.
Speaking of ribs on the grill, wish everyone a happy Labor Day weekend this weekend. Be safe out there.
Big plans?
Going to the lake, having a cookout, catching some fish.
Shocked, I tell you. 6 minutes to go in this one, 3rd and 1 for the Eddies. A lot of great college football to watch on Saturday, and of course many eyes around here will be on that Notre Dame-Texas A&M game. You can listen to the Irish Football Fix podcast online if you missed on Pulse FM the other night, as Evan Strong carries again for a first down up to the 36-yard line, a pickup of 8 on the play.
For more than 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping people find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. They're nationally known and locally run by an outstanding team that believes in supporting the Michiana community. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Joe Lundgren doing his best to milk the clock with every huddle right here. 5:10, and the buses are warmed up. 1st and 10 from the Glen 36. Lundgren will hand it off. And another new Eddie in the game is this is Adrian Edwards, a junior running back. And Edwards is able to go forward for about 7 yards on the play. Always, when we have these blowout games, try to remember that the young men getting some playing time right now work just as hard as anybody else in practice and deserve to have their name mentioned.
I believe that wholeheartedly, and we'd love to mention kids getting into the games that don't normally and give them a little spotlight as well. It's what Sports Michiana is all about.
See guys like Matt Enders and Drew Farrell in the game now on the offensive line. Here's another handoff, and that's Jacobs going for the first down as he barrels his way to the 24 for a pickup of 6. Jacobs with 8 carries, 29 yards tonight.
Carry was good enough for the first down.
Again, despite all these long touchdown runs, Edwardsburg doesn't have a single ball carrier over 100 yards, and that's not unusual for them in these kind of games.
Yeah, they usually have, I believe we have 9 guys that have carried the ball here tonight. They have 4 or 5 guys that carry the ball, and one guy might have a big night because he had a 70-yard run and a 60-yard run, and that's how he got over the 100-yard mark. Another guy might have 10 carries for 50 yards.
Of course, the hugely sad part of this game for Edwardsburg, the injury to their quarterback Zeke Pagura in the 3rd quarter, as it's Adrian Edwards again on the carry, picking up 5.
Adrian Edwards on the carry again for the Eddies.
Mishawaka clinging to that 20-7 lead on Penn, and of course we'll see the Kingsmen next Friday night against Riley at Jackson Field in their NIC opener under Pete Reardon. North Judson now on top of LaVille, 24-0 in the 3rd. We thought that could be a trap game for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
There was no trap set.
No, not at all. Haven't seen that Bremen-Triton game. That Triton really played well last week. That Triton-North Judson matchup's going to be one heck of a game.
Nice slashing run for Evan Strong that time. He looks like he's got the first down as he picks up 7. 21-0 Warren Central now leading Warsaw. Lafayette Jeff with a 10-7 lead on Michigan City. Concord on top of Jimtown. That's 35-20 Minutemen in the 3rd quarter in Bill Sharp Stadium. Apparently 1 yard short of the first down there, so it'll be 3rd and 1. 2:13 to go in this one, and a running clock, as we've mentioned.
Eddies pick up a first down here. They could take a knee and technically run the clock out then.
It's Noah Jacobs again. And no, it's
Davis
not Noah
up the
Jacobs.
middle.
It went up the middle this time. And that was Austin Shimmings. And Shimmings is able to get an Edwardsburg first down all the way up to the 7-yard line. So now the question is here, does Dan Purley just want to take the knee?
Yeah,
1:38 to go in this one.
Looks like they're going to run the clock down to almost a minute at this point. He's out on the field. Yep, look like they're talking victory formation.
And why not?
Yeah.
Well-earned victory for the Edwardsburg Eddies tonight, who came out and answered a lot of questions about their football team. So victory formation indeed for Edwardsburg. They'll have to snap the ball a couple more times, and they'll make the trek back up State Road 23 and M62 and celebrate a victory before they get ready for a visit from the St. Joe Bears next week, a St. Joe team that has laid the lumber to Niles tonight. And apparently LaVille on the board now. It's a 24-8 North Judson lead. Halftime, Mishawaka still leading Penn 20-7. 38 seconds and counting here at Hostrasser Field. One more snap for backup quarterback Joe Lundgren, and that will do it. The Edwardsburg Eddies clapping their hands and celebrating, and why not? They go to 1-0 in 2024. John Glenn falls to 1-1. The final here tonight at Hostrasser Field in Walkerton. Edwardsburg wins the interstate matchup by a final score, 48-8. Don't go anywhere. Our St. Joe Colony Police Department post-game show comes your way next on the Sports Michiana Game of the Week.
In need of an award? Call Crown Trophy of Mishawaka, the area's premier award provider. They've been serving the area since 2001 with cutting-edge exclusive products, personalized with state-of-the-art laser engraving technology. And Crown Trophy has more than just trophies. They offer corporate, sales, and retirement awards, along with personalized gifts and promotional products. Crown Trophy, nationally known, locally owned, where everyone's a winner.
Shopping for tires used to really grind my gears. So many tires, and the thought of choosing the right one made me, Precisely. That's before I went to TireRack.com. I got the best deal hands down. My tires ship fast and free, arrive the next day like clockwork. Tire Rack even gave me 2 years of free road hazard protection. Precisely.
TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Your team.
I'm really proud of us as a whole. We came together when things got tough right there before half. We punched it in, kind of put the nail in the coffin right when the second half started too. Big touchdown there. And, we just played great together. It was really good getting off on a good start.
I was going to say, last year, obviously not the season you guys wanted at 5-5, not the Edwardsburg way. Yep. How much confidence do you have in this group, and how good of a start is this towards getting back to where you guys want to be?
Us, we got a great senior group. We love working together. We come to practice every day, excited to play together. So getting this win, it's a skyrocket for us. It's only up from here.
Obviously, at the same time, Zeke going down with an injury in the third quarter. How difficult was that to see with one of your fellow teammates and seniors?
Zeke, he's a fellow captain with me, and we all love Zeke. Zeke, he's a big leader, running the offense perfect all the time. So seeing him go down, that really hurt us, but it helped us really get together, and we did it for him.
You guys got a big game now next week against St. Joe. Your early thoughts going into that one?
They're a really good team, but we're going to be ready to go.
Grant, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Grant Griffin, our Reliance player of the game. Chuck and Bo, back up to you.
All right, thank you very much, Anj. And it It's time now to look at our Big C Lumber big play of the game. Boy, there were a lot to choose from in this one. But I'm going to go with this play that Grant Griffin just mentioned. Early in the third quarter, Zeke Pagura up top to Griffin for the touchdown pass. To me, this was the backbreaker.
It really was. I mean, it was just 16 seconds off the play clock in the second half. You come out of the locker rooms, you get a deep breath, you come out, and all of a sudden, bam, they hit you right away over the top for a big score. And that was the one that really kind of put this one away.
So Grant Griffin, not only our Reliance player of the game, but part of our Big C Lumber big play of the game. Big C Lumber, where the possibilities are endless. And the possibilities endless for this Edwardsburg team after this victory. As Anj mentioned, they go home. They play the St. Joe Bears, who knocked off Niles tonight. That should be a wild one at Leo Hoffman Field as we welcome you inside the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Your thoughts on that one?
It's going to be a matchup. I mean, we've seen St. Joe in the past, and we've seen Edwardsburg in the past. This looks like the old Eddie team. Last year didn't quite look like them. This looks like the old Eddie team. They're confident in themselves. They rely on each other, and they use different weapons. But St. Joe, I mean, they're going to come after you.
This is a learning experience for John Glenn tonight. They got some confidence last week. Now they found that they were out physical. Maybe they aren't as physical as they think they are. So they've got some lessons to learn, but they turn around and play Fort Wayne Blackhawk Christian next week. That's a winnable game for the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, their schedule plays out to where they have a lot of winnable games. I think they go back to the drawing board a little bit on some things, but I think it's more of what you said. You know what? We talk about being physical, but when you go out there to try to be physical and be physical, it's a different story. Talking about it and doing it are two different things. They got to go out and do it now.
The weight room may have won this game for the Eddies tonight. Congratulations to Edwardsburg. They win this one 48-8. Our thanks to our Michiana video crew who helped bring you this one. Led up by the G-Man, Gary Martin, doing the producing. And, of course, we had Josh Kellogg back there running the replay. Terrific camera work tonight. Tony Beltran, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Chris Skibby with us tonight as well. Matt Kowalski down in the truck helping make things run smooth. A reminder, we're with you next Friday night on Sports Michiana and WSBT's Facebook and YouTube pages for Northern Indiana Conference action as the Penn Kingsmen visit the Riley Wildcats at Jackson Field in South Bend. We're on the air with the pregame stream at 6:45 and the kickoff at 7 o'clock, and hope you'll join us then. Now for my broadcast partners, the Hall of Famer Bo Hundt and Angelo DiCarlo, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final, Edwardsburg 48, John Glenn 8. So long from Walkerton.
Thank you for watching the Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week. And thank you to all these great sponsors for making it possible. Support us by supporting them.